Sold out sign out today. We'll talk more about that in a second. We've got 47 cars entered here tonight. We've got the Super Stocks and Pure Stocks. I'm James Essex. Dustin Jarrett will be joining us. And Dustin George will be on the call for the Pure Stocks and the Super Stocks here tonight. An incredibly beautiful fall afternoon here in Brownstown, Indiana. We're glad each and every one of you are tuned in here tonight. Last night was a dandy. Nick Hoffman got his first career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series by .081 seconds over Brandon Shepard, and Devin Moran ended up in third. Tonight, we will have Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. We'll have All-Star Performance Time Trials. We'll have 4 heats. Those will be 8 laps apiece. Top 4 transfer to the Jackson 100. 2 10-lap B-mains. Top 3 transfer. And then we'll have provisionals, not only the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, but either Devin Gilpin or Matt Butnick will represent at Brownstown Speedway. It's $2,000 just to start here tonight. And of course, $50,000 to win the 100-lap A-main. Mike Marler, last year's winner, without a ride right now. And I know he misses coming here this weekend, but I'm sure we'll see him back next year as he tried to run a sprint car last night. His brother Cameron is here, by the way. This track first opened here in 1952 as a horse track. It was a half-mile flat oval. And right now, the quarter mile, as you see there on the video, that was constructed in 1955, and it's remained the same ever since then. And again, they have a large building renovation. It's going to be coming in a couple of years. New grandstands, new lighting, new concession, and new restrooms here. In over about 2 to 3 year period of time, this place will be one of the top facilities in the country when that does happen. Dustin Jarrett, I've been coming here a long time, brother. We had the front gate open for a while. The arch gate, which you know how to get out of here, they opened it up. They closed it. They closed the front gate, and they had to go down what we call Camp Pioca Road to let people in. I mean, move over, Eldora, right? I mean, this, if it's not sold out, it's close, but keep on coming in. Dustin Jarrett, this is unbelievable, my friend.
You know, when I rode in here yesterday, I actually told you, I said, this has got to be one of the biggest Jackson 100 weekend crowds that we've ever had, simply by the number of campers that I saw whenever I pulled in, and then campers up here to my right as well. James, this crowd is unbelievable. A few things that you can always expect when you come to Brownstown Speedway. Number one, you can expect a racetrack that more times than not is going to be cleaned off top to bottom. It's going to have a distinct lower groove, a distinct high groove, and a distinct groove right around the middle as well. That groove and the racetrack itself is going to change 100 times over the course of 100 laps. The second thing that you can expect, well, drama, right? We saw that last night. We had a race that was decided by less than 1/10 of a second as Nick Hoffman finally got his first career win with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series over Brandon Shepard. And the third and final thing you can expect, one of the best crowds in the country. How about it, Brownstown Speedway? And if you don't like that, get the heck out of here. These are my people back here, the covered grandstands, the ones down here in 1, the ones over here in 4. I can't wait, baby. Let's go. It's the 46th running of the Jackson 100, presented by the Jackson County Visitors Bureau. And if you're not here on the ground, shame on you, but you are watching it all live on FloRacing.
Welcome to Brownstown Speedway. Welcome back to the 46th annual Jackson 100. This race first began in 1981 by Charlie Swartz in a C.J. Rayburn house car. And it has hosted more Jackson 100s, 46 of them consecutive years, never been rained down. Of course, last year was hurricaned out, and we ran it in October. And the third track in the history of dirt late model racing to go over 100 cars. We did that in 1990, the Jackson 100 with 102. Right now, it is 82 degrees. 2-mile-an-hour winds, clear sky, Tiffany. It looks great. It's awesome. Look at the lake up there, Dustin George. That is terrific. And it is near capacity here tonight at Brownstown Speedway, the home of more National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famers than any other track in the country. We're up there. I think they're up there on by the lake right there. Who is that? Dustin George. Do you recognize them?
I can't see.
Getting some good sun up there to checking out the action here. 47 cars entered here tonight. By the way, that is the second most in 15 years. The most we had in that time period was in the COVID year of 2020 when we had 60. So 47 here tonight. We lost a couple, but gained Connor Mertens out of Charlestown, Indiana, rookie in the super late model division. There you see Devin Moran, last night's third place finisher. He is now up to second in the Big River Steel Chase to the championship. Presented by ARP after last night. It's Ricky Thornton Jr. still with the lead. Now 70 over Moran. Davenport, man, tough break for him. Heartbreak Hotel leading the first 9 laps last night. A flat tire under caution. And came back, but I think he got in the top 12. But right now he's third. Hudson Neal, tough night for him, fourth. And then you have Brandon Shepard by 0.081 seconds, almost went to victory lane last night. Again, congratulations to Nick Hoffman in his first Lucas Oil win. Now that fifth place in the points, that's worth $100,000 at the end of the year. So the battle there between B-Shep, 5-time dirt track world champion, Garrett Alberson, who's behind him, then Brandon Overton, Dalton Wilson, Carson Ferguson, and Donald McIntosh, your top 10 in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. Donald McIntosh right now in control of that, looking for that $20,000 paycheck as the champion and over $18,000 in contingencies. Daniel Hilzerbeck is second, and then Dan Ebert runs in third in the points. So there you have it, as we're getting ready to go here with Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. And again, $50,000 to win on the line here tonight. Next weekend, the season gets shorter and shorter. We'll be at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, the Blair Crest promoted facility. Next Friday night, it'll be a full points race. That'll be $10,000 to win. And then next Saturday night, it'll be the annual Pittsburgher. That'll pay $50,000 to win. 1 week from tonight, October the 4th. And then we wrap up the season with Carl Short's Dirt Track World Championship at Tony Stewart's Eldora Speedway. $100,000 to win. Tickets and camping on sale at EldoraSpeedway.com. There you see Hudson O'Neal comes in tonight again, fourth in the points after last night in that Todd and Vicky Burns SSI Motorsports number 71. He has 34 career wins in a Lucas Oil Series, including that sterling victory 1 week ago tonight at Knoxville, where he started in 15th and took the lead and went off and won by 8 seconds, over 8 seconds a week ago in Iowa. It's great to meet the fans from all over the country. We've got people from I don't know how many states I've counted, probably at least 15, 20 states here represented fan-wise and driver-wise here this weekend. And again, a big thanks to the Jackson County Visitor Center, Aaron Banks. They're going to give the command to start the engines tonight. They thoroughly enjoy coming on board with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series in Brownstown Speedway. And this race here, truly an iconic race in dirt late model racing. In fact, as I mentioned, the biggest... We'll go to break here in a moment. Yes, as I mentioned, the biggest race ever here was 102 cars. That was in the 1990 Jackson 100, won by Scott Bloomquist. And here's your top 10 that year, guys. Scott Bloomquist, Jim Curry, John Mason, Lee Fleetwood, Ray Gotze, John Gill, Bob Pierce, Kenny Schrader in his only appearance at Brownstown, Gibby Steinhaus, and Ira Baston. That was the top 10 And a 102-car field. Again, only the third track to ever do it, only behind Eldora and Pennsboro. We're going to take a break. Coming up, it'll be Dirt Draft Hot Laps in a few moments. You're watching the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by FloRacing from the Jackson County 4-H Fairgrounds in Brownstown, Indiana.
I don't know what it is. I totally feel like I'm a kid again when I get on my buzz bike.
Horsepower, baby. You know me, I like horsepower.
We no longer bring golf carts to the racetrack because we have buzz bikes.
The University of Northwestern Ohio can turn your passion for all things diesel into a profitable career. On the shop floor, in our live engine rooms, or on the diesel dynos, 70% of your training is hands-on.
There's a good chunk of the time where you're just in the shop all day, and it's really enjoyable to apply what you just learned in the textbook.
From light duty to heavy duty, even specialty training in Mack and Volvo engines.
You can get pretty much a job anywhere if you're going to a top school for diesel, and they want you.
Get started today at unoh.edu.
Hey race fans, Burdick's RV Center is your full-line Renegade RV dealer in the Northeast. Travel to and from your destination in extreme luxury, Class C and Super C motorhomes like no other. Choose a new Renegade Explorer or the incredible Renegade Classic, while the new Renegade XL stands above them all. We'll help arrange financing and work with your trade-in too. So chase races, chase your dreams with Renegade at Burdick's RV Center in Cicero, New York, or burdicksrvcenter.com.
V-Land is proud to be an official partner of the 2023 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Check us out at www.vland.com for more info. See you at the races. ARP, the ultimate fasteners for racing in the dirt. With high horsepower demands, ARP delivers maximum clamping force and performance. When failure on the dirt is not an option, it's arp-bolts.com.
The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is brought to you by Sunoco Race Fuels. Higher standards, higher octane. Take the lead with Sunoco. By Big River Steel, developing sustainable steel made with the world's most advanced mini-mill technologies. And by Lucas Oil, keep that engine alive. At Brownstown Speedway, it is alive. For the 46th time, the Jackson 100 will take place here. And again, this race started in 1980, paid $3,000 to win. Charlie Swartz won that in the C.J. Rayburn house car. In fact, Rayburn race cars won for the first 5. Paul Crockett drove an Ed Howe chassis to the win in 81. Then it was Russ Petone Rayburn in 82 and 83, and the late Kenny Simpson winning in 1984 in a C.J. Rayburn for Gene Dalton. So the first group of cars rolling onto the track here around this quarter-mile oval. And again, heats 1 and 2 will be made up of Group A and qualifying. Group B, and again, they do qualify separate here, 3 at a time. Good field of super stocks and pure stocks as well here tonight. But a great race here last night. Nick Hoffman, again, the 94th different driver in the 21-year history of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series to come home with a win. So you see Group 1 out on the racetrack here tonight. Again, 47 cars. Just narrowly missed the cutoff again last night when we had 48. So it's 49 to run 6 heats. So 48 with 4 heats last night, 47-4. We're going to roll this track in here a little bit. Dirt Season 3 here on FloRacing. If you didn't catch it the other night, Jonathan Davenport led off the new season of FloRacing, and you can see that replay on FloRacing, and we've got some other ones coming up. I know we did JD, and here's the trailer, so take a look at that for you folks at home.
The most dangerous part of my job is just getting in knowing that it could be my last time getting in the car and not being able to get out.
Driving these late models is not like any other vehicle in the entire world.
It's a big boat with a lot of horsepower.
First time you get in one, you mash the gas. I remember being scared to damn death. You're just strapped into this little bitty hole, and you've got a huge engine sitting right in front of you, 900 horsepower, and it's rough, it's loud, it's just mean.
Mud's flying and tempers are flaring, and it's all action all the time. When shit's happening, you better get ready because you don't know what's coming.
But this is the Indian goddess. I have to pull that up because she's very voluptuous, and people like to see that.
Late model fans are diehard.
Let's go racing, boys! Woo!
Right around there, Davenport. This is the winning trophy.
The late model crowd, we are definitely a little more country, a little more redneck, really not giving a shit.
We're just all diehard race people that loves to go around and circle fast.
RTJ is the defending champion of the series. He's one of the best pure talents that honestly we probably have in dirt late model racing.
He's kicking our ass, so we're trying to catch up and get back by him.
Say hi, Flo.
Hi, dummies.
No.
And his kids are all over the place.
We got one down.
Ooh. Everybody drops tennis balls. We dodge horns for reflexes.
Jonathan Davenport, fierce competitor. I feel like he's kind of like me. Second place isn't good enough.
Your next millionaire is Jonathan Davenport.
He's old enough to retire. He can go ahead and retire and let us young guys start winning these races. Get him out of the damn sport. I'm tired of watching him win. Big sexy, baby.
Brandon Overton, you put him in the race car, he's an animal. He's just down to earth. He's so smooth with it.
He's definitely slick and smooth.
Oh yeah, big sexy.
Devin Moran, obviously you know his history with his dad.
Donnie was a dominator here. Won the Dream, won the World, won the Dirt Track World Championship, other crown jewels.
My dad is the $1 Million Man, Donnie Moran.
Donnie Moran, you're a millionaire at Eldora Speedway.
Other than being Donnie Moran Jr., I don't think anything's tougher than being Devin Moran.
Is that your car? We're here with one goal in mind, and that's to win the Lucas Oil Championship.
If you can win that and win the points, I mean, it's a $350,000 night.
When you're racing with Lucas Oil, they're all pretty damn good race car drivers. Obviously, Ricky won the championship last year. JD is the best in dirt late model racing for the last 10 years or so. We know going into Eldora, we got to beat JD if we want to win.
He's been on the tour probably longer than Devin and longer than Ricky. They're the other two fast guys who can win races, but JD is the toughest one.
You got them guys chomping at the bit, and then you got Brandon Overton in the Longhorn house car, you know. There's a lot of just good racers, especially with Lucas, so if you fall off, they're going to be going right on by. This is when the money's on the line. Dirt racing's cool. It's not all just about rednecks, I promise.
Yeah, on the first episode, Jonathan Davenport, again, we'll have Devin Moran on there, Ricky Thornton Jr., and Brandon Overton. Well, you see the first group of cars. Again, we delayed a little bit here for an hour from the original start time of 6. Help get the sun go down. It goes down, obviously, earlier this time of year here in south central Indiana. There's Corey Lawler, the 93 out of Hanover, Pennsylvania. Well, I know my good friend Brian Burkhofer is here, the 2001, of course, two-time winner at Knoxville, two-time winner at Eldora, the World winner here in 2001. But, Berkey, I'm sorry to tell you, it's a final Yes, a final from Iowa City. Indiana 20, Iowa 13. So IU is now 5-0, Dustin Jarrett, and in 2 weeks they take on the Oregon Ducks. Quack, quack.
Oh my, oh my. Number one, I did not have a James Essex quacking on my bingo card. Number two, I expected a bigger round of applause than that from this massive crowd.
Well, it's
that we
still
have
early.
here.
It's 5-0. How did the Buckeyes? How did your Buckeyes do today?
It was tight early, but we eventually pulled it off out west in Washington, as my grandparents would call it.
Yes. Not Washington Courthouse.
Not Washington Courthouse.
Home of Brock
Not
Penrod.
Washington Apple. No, they knocked off my dog's favorite team, the Washington Huskies, today. Dakota's very disappointed. My wife and I are very happy. The dog is just unconsolable.
Yeah, that's good. I can see a Big Ten championship game, the Buckeyes and the Hoosiers. You never know, right? There's a Hoosier driver there. That's Jason Jameson, the 12 car. Won he raced here last night in the James Ratliff-owned car, number 12, out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Behind him, the 79 car, leading the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. First time here for the Jackson 100. That'll be Donald McIntosh. Donald McIntosh out of Dawsonville, Georgia in 79. Again, a lot of drivers here this weekend that have never even attempted a Jackson 100, trying to put it in the show tonight. By the way, it does pay $2,000 just to start here tonight. There's the 48J. That'll be Jug Wethington. Jug Wethington up, first full year in a super late model. Looks to be looking more of that next year. He is out of Edinburgh, Indiana in that 48J car. Also on the track, we have the 22 car. Again, last night, had some suspension issues. They got it repaired. The Brian Conner 22 of Chris Ferguson. Chris Ferguson out of Mount Holly, North Carolina. He was here for the COVID race back in 2020, where we had 60 cars here that night. Had a good run at top 10. There's the 01. That'll be Tyler Erb. Tyler Erb, 21 career wins in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. A couple of wins here at Brownstown. He's in Langenfelder Mechanical 01 for Eric and Kelly Brock. So also on the track, there's the 20 TC, the youngster out of Richmond, Indiana. His dad, of course, longtime competitor here at Brownstown. That'll be Tristan Chamberlain. Tristan Chamberlain and Wayne and Holly Gibson 20 TC, the Infinity by Wells, out of Richmond, Indiana. Well, the 20 TC loves coming to Brownstown. And we'll see if he can put it in the show here tonight. Missed it by a couple of spots one night ago. There's the 22 car. He's second in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. The Banning car, Practic 22. That'll be Daniel Hilzebeck. Daniel Hilzebeck out of Earlham, Iowa, in car number 22. As we've also got both first three groups out there. There's the 4G car, the Pink Panther, with us this weekend. First time this year with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the John Gardner Racing entry of Bob Gardner. Bob Gardner out of Washington, Illinois in the 4G car. Also, there's the 99 car, second down in the points, third last night. Two-time defending Indiana Icebreaker winner. That'll be Devin Moran. Devin Moran, the Roger Sellers Double Down Motorsports entry. Lazy Days RV, DC&W Trucking, Big River Steel entry. There's the 49 car. Dropped to third in the points last night. Man, tough break for him. Left rear flat. Came back out. Got in a couple of accidents there at the end of the race, and just not the night that he wanted to end up with. It started out strong. He was overall fast time. Won his heat race. Set on the victory fuel pole, but Jonathan Davenport looking for a win here tonight. It will be his second Jackson 100. He won the first one driving for Kevin and Leroy Rumley. He has won here twice in his career at Brownstown. There's the 7 car. Hey, congratulations to him. Not only trying to make his first Jackson 100, but the brand new owner of Tazewell Speedway in Tazewell, Tennessee. That is Justin Smith. Justin Smith comes to us out of Barberville, Kentucky, just across the state line there in the Bluegrass State from Tazewell. There's the 76 car, the Dude Wives entry. Cornet powering it tonight. Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia. There's the 32 car, the winningest dirt late model driver in the country this year. 29 wins. Current World of Outlaws FloRacing Not in America points leader. That is Bobby Pierce. Bobby Pierce, 4 career wins here at Brownstown. His father, who's here as crew chief, Bob Pierce, won here 16 times in his career at Brownstown. There's the 11 car. Got his first win at Brownstown here Back in the Hoosier Dirt Classic at the end of May, now 3-time and reigning Northern All-Star champion Josh Rice in the Team Synesys number 11 out of Crittenden, Kentucky for Josh Rice. He was in the top 10 here one night ago. Also on the racetrack, there's the 58 car, still looking for his first win here at Brownstown. The Romer Machine, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Sunoco Race Fuels. 58 car, that'll be Garrett Alberson. Garrett Alberson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in car 58. In the low voltage solutions entry. Also on the track, there's the 2-time track champion here at Brownstown Speedway. That'll be Chad Stapleton. Chad Stapleton got his first win of the year a couple of weeks ago at Moeller Raceway Park over on the outside of Cincinnati in Williamsburg, Ohio for Total Chaos, Chad Stapleton. And Chad Stapleton here at Brownstown in his career, he has 6 career wins, again 2-time track champion. There's the 81 car, first year in an open late model. That'll be Connor Mertens. Connor Mertens out of Charlestown, Indiana. And they had a great racetrack down there for a number of years. Charlestown Motor Speedway was dirt for about 3 years, then turned to asphalt and is now closed. But Connor Mertens out of Charlestown, Indiana. Also out here in this group, you saw the 4-car going off the track. That's Cody Mahoney. Cody Mahoney, former track champion here. There's the 2 Indy. Top 10 in the Northern All-Star points this year. That'll be Jake Leitzman. Jake Leitzman out of Paragon, Indiana in the 2 Indy in his first full year in an open late model for Jake Leitzman. As I mentioned yesterday, all the drivers' first year in a super late model. A lot of them do have experience in the Pro Crate late models, and again, looking forward to 2026 here in the area. And we got a healthy group of drivers looking to go super late model racing come 2026. Well, Dirt Draft, who are you going to have in your Dirt Draft tonight, Dustin George, Dustin Jarrett? Because you go to dirtdraft.com or get the app. If you're a first-time subscriber, you get a free T-shirt. Okay? Get a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series T-shirt. You can get a High Limit. You can get a USAC shirt. For free to get a Lucas Oil shirt. That'd be nice. Just sign up for that. You get $100,000 in money to work with, play money to work with. You got to pick your top 5. You got the salary cap of $100,000. So there you have that. So pick your top 5. Who would have the highest salary cap in Brownstown history? Would you go with John Gill, Dustin George? I'd go with John Gill, Jim Curry, Don O'Neill, Steve Barnett, Ray Gotze, Russ Petro. He just go on down the line, right?
Yeah, you're going to leave anybody for the rest of us?
Yeah. Mike Gill may have the highest. He's no doubt about that. So, and what a great history here.
Whoa,
yes, Dustin Jarrett, what about you? Who would have the highest value?
I got to go John Gill.
John Gill.
Jim Curry.
Yep.
Russ Petro.
Good.
Paul Crockett.
Good.
Kenny Simpson.
Very nice.
How about that?
Very nice.
Did I do that right?
You did wonderful, man.
Don O'Neill is my alternate.
Don O'Neill's an alternate. I mean, it's just such a great history. As I said, Dustin Jarrett, more National Late Model Hall of Famers than any track in the country. Pretty impressive.
It's incredibly impressive, as is this crowd, man. I am not entirely sure that we could shoehorn another person, not just into the grandstands, but on the grounds, man. I mean, they're having to walk down from the Bearded Hobo just to get here.
That is very true.
Have you been to the Bearded Hobo?
Yes, I have. I was there about a month ago. That is one of the great sponsors here at Brownstown, and Michael Smith just had water. How about Rusty Shields? He's back tonight, DJ. He'll be singing the national anthem. We've got Erin Banks from the Jackson County Visitor Center in Seymour. She will be giving the command to start the engines tonight. And that is, I think, Dustin George, that's on the backstretch. I thought we was going to have to put the sold out sign like we had at El Toro a few weeks ago, but simply amazing. We do, by the way, have 50/50 tickets on sale tonight, by the way. Did not have a seller last night, so we have that tonight. So those are on the grounds as well. And we'll announce that later on here tonight. Dustin Jarrett, what about Rob Penrod and the helmet cam on the Washington Courthouse, Ohio native?
So I got an opportunity to watch a little bit of last night, and I had to tell Rob earlier today, hey, I mean, you're moving around too much. You know, I mean, don't watch the whole racetrack. You know, think about the people. Think about the people that are watching. Who cares if there's an accident down in 3 and 4 right now? Hey, it was really cool, man. Something a little bit different, right? I think they got the helmet cam back on. Rob Penrod again here tonight, and just, you know, trying something a little bit different that you may not see anywhere else.
Well, thank goodness he doesn't have a Rick Eckert or Davey Johnson mullet that would hang out of the helmet, right?
Well, I kind of wish that he would, actually.
I know.
So, no, I am happy. I'm actually lobbying for them to, like, strap that on the front of me like a body cam. You know, we can have, like, DJ cam down here in the infield.
There you go.
You might see me, like, change a tire, you know, on someone in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit later.
That was good. There was some activity last night on and off the track, right? I mean, that's last night. So, again, congratulations, Nick Hoffman, with the win. A very exciting race. There are the trophies tonight for the Super Stock and Pure Stock. And there is the Jackson 100 trophy. For the 46th time, 27 drivers have won this race. And who will come home with the victory here tonight? And again in the house, Ricky Thornton Jr. won it in 2023. Hudson O'Neal in 2019. Bobby Pierce in 2018. Jonathan Davenport in 2015. And Don O'Neal is a 4-time winner in 2000, 2006. And, well, he's won it 4 times. Yes, 2013 was the last time. And the all-time Jackson 100 winner, the late great Scott Bloomquist, 7 Jackson 100s. This was one of his favorite tracks that he started coming to in the late 1980s when he drove for Mastersville. When you get people like Scott Bloomquist and Billy Moyer and the history that they have, I mean, they are the 2 GOATs, right? And one of their favorite tracks right here at Brownstown over the years. Billy Moyer still racing. Congratulations to him. Comp Cam Super Dirt Series champion for 2025. And how about Ronnie Johnson? He was the fastest qualifier for the very first Jackson 100 in 1980. 70 years old, about to clinch the Southern All-Star, presented by Coltman Farms Racing Championship. So how about that? So pretty impressive. Billy Moyer turns 68 years old next month. As I mentioned, Ronnie Johnson, 70 years old. There's Corey Lawler coming off that first win at Knoxville in a heat race in the number 93 car. Corey currently 14th in the championship point standings, back for his 2nd year running full-time on the tour. As again, this is group number 1 cars on the racetrack. There's the 18 car, Trevor Landrum, 3-time track champion at Florence. His dad, Steve Landrum, he's a former winner at Brownstown back in 1993 as Steve Landrum. 6 times a Florence Speedway track champion, and that ties him with Troy Green all-time, Dustin.
Hey, James, real quick, how about Bob and Angie Pierce, by the way, celebrating their wedding anniversary the other day? If you look at the side of Bobby Pierce's number 32 late model, you'll notice an ND after it. It says, happy 32nd anniversary, Bob and Angie. They celebrated that on Thursday.
How ironic is that, right? On this Jackson 100 weekend, the 32nd anniversary. All right, there's Josh Rice. 1 career win at Brownstown, 2 in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, 2-time Ralph Latham Memorial winner. He won here at Brownstown with a 40-car field back here at the end of May in the Hoosier Dirt Classic. In that Rick Jones Team Sonessa's Vic Hill powered rocket. Still a little slimy yet, but it'll come into it here in a little bit. And it was sporty here last night. There's Trevor Landrum. Behind him, the rookie in the super late models, that's Tyler Neal. Tyler Neal, he comes to us out of Perrigan, Indiana, made the show last night, the C.J. Rayburn Memorial. Cornet powered now for the 76 Longhorn for the Riggs Motorsports Longhorn factory car of Brandon Overton. Brandon Overton currently sitting 7th in the championship points in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. All right, so obviously still a little slimy. Corey Lawler, 17.559. The all-time track record here for the late models is held by Josh Richards at 12.509. As we mentioned last night, that Josh Richards will be back in action in the second Rocket One entry next Friday and Saturday at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Josh Richards, former Lucas Oil National Champion when he drove for the Best Performance Team in that car, number 1. All right, so we'll pack this track in. I think once we get it going, it's going to be really sporty here tonight. Super Stocks, Pure Stocks joining us here tonight. There's the 71 car, the O'Neill Salvage and Recycling entry. That's the real deal, Don O'Neill. Don O'Neill, long storied history here at Brownstown. 4-time Jackson 100 winner. He's tied with John Gill, second all-time, 54 career wins. That is only second to Jim Curry. And by the way, Devin Gilpin comes in tonight, and he had to have a motor swap there after last night. He has 43 career wins, 5 this year. That is 5th all-time for Devin Gilpin, only behind Steve Barnett, who has 50. Then you have Gill and O'Neill and in Curry, the all-time winningest driver. So pretty impressive for Gilpin, looking for his record-extending 6th career title here this year at Brownstown. But unfortunately, some mechanical issues for him, but he's going to be in the show tonight as he has a provisional, DJ.
Yeah, the 58 of Garrett Alberson, not sure what the issue is. He's been asking for a push for about 10 minutes down here now. I think they finally maybe have someone on the way to see if they can get the fire going underneath the hood of the 58 of Garrett Alberson.
How about Garrett Alberson last week at Knoxville? Got his first career win there. Not the first for Roberts Racing. Ray Gus Jr. did it about 15 years ago at Knoxville. There's the 20 TC, the youngster Tristan Chamberlain out of Richmond, Indiana, in the Gibson Motorsports car. So thanks to Jim Price, everybody here at Brownstown Speedway for their accommodations, all the fans and drivers that have come out this weekend. Devin Moran, 2-time and defending Indiana Icebreaker champion. One of his favorite tracks. His dad, Donnie Moran, first came here in the early 80s in the All-Star Circuit of Champion late models. Later ran here in the Stars and Have a Tampa Series. But Donnie Moran came home second once. He has never won here at Brownstown, did Donnie Moran. But Devin Moran, again, twice the winner here at Brownstown. And that's been over the last 2 years. Again, there's Justin Smith, Barberville, Kentucky. In car number 7, the J Construction entry.
James, you talked about the 99 of Devin Moran out there on the racetrack, and I'm a guy, never really a big fan of the good points night phrases, but it was a good points night for the 99 of Devin Moran, who now finds himself second in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Big River Steel Chase for the championship presented by ARP.
And he's finished runner-up the last 2 years, DJ. And again, next Friday and Saturday, come on out to Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Blair Crest has done a great job there. Brand new wall around that racetrack. Going to have a good field of cars. 10,000 to win on Friday, 50K on Saturday, and then we're off a week, and then we'll head to Tony Stewart's Eldora Speedway for the season finale. Carl Short's Dirt Track World Championship, $100,000 to the winner. How about Bob Gardner? First race in a while here last night. Missed the starting field by 1 spot. And right now, Tristan Chamberlain, 15.146, is starting to come into it a little bit quicker here tonight. There's Don O'Neill. He ran here about a month ago. Set fast time, won his heat. Ran in the top 10 of the feature. Again, tied with John Gill. 54 career wins here at Brownstown. One of the true, of course, legendary names that have raced here before. And DJ mentioned the top 10 all time, and Devin Gilpin has moved into 5th. Mentioned people like Paul Crockett and Ray Gotze and Russ Petro and Don Hobbs and Kenny Simpson, the top 10. Mike Jewell, who was here last night, watching. Maybe home watching tonight. We're going to give a shout out to DDP, Diamond Dick Phillips, watching tonight. Usually we don't give shout outs, but we got to give a shout out to him, right? All the great fans we met this afternoon, several out-of-towners here for the very first time at Brownstown Speedway, and we hope to put on a great show like we did last night. Speed is picking up Chamberlain 15.146. Still the quickest out there, Bob Gardner. Now it's Devin Moran at 14.620. How about that, Dustin George? Sitting down here to the southwest, right? I mean, that's not towards Bedford, right? That's about towards Salem, right?
Yeah, that'd be the Washington County.
That is
there.
unbelievable. Yep. Look at that. That is awesome.
That's a beautiful picture there.
What a sight. We thought 2020 was big, and it was, because we were coming off a COVID year at Eldora where there were no fans allowed, and they all came to Brownstown. It seemed like that year. And we had 60 cars, Dustin Jarrett, but man, what a sunset. Can you see that down from where you are as it goes behind the trees here in south central Indiana?
Well, I'm vertically challenged anyway, and so being down here where I'm at, I got a little bit of it off the pine trees there over in the camping area, just near the entrance to the fairgrounds.
Did you find a place to park that was close?
Well, I got here at about 9 a.m. this morning so that I could park and hopefully get out of here. You know, I typically strategically park just outside the main pit entrance, or the exit to the pit area. That way I can go straight out the arch. And I tried to do that last night, and that gate was closed. And so wow. I wasn't going to pull a Smokey and the Bandit on him, and so I like a good civilian, went out the correct exit.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have a media parking lot like Eldora, right, by the pit gate, right?
Yes.
So we'll have to work on that.
Everybody parks there now. So
yeah, they did. I had to park in the car owner sponsor trailer park. Or not trailer park, but what am I talking? Trailer park out there beside the media center at the World, right? I mean, holy cow. I swear there's still people leaving that place. But we'll be back there at Eldora for the Dirt Track World Championship. And that's coming up again, October 17th and 18th. We also have the Ohio Valley Steel Blocks and the Super Stocks and the Modified.
I remember one time there was so many people at Eldora you had to park on the helipad. Oh, wait, James, that was the COVID year when
somebody
there
told
was
me
actually
to do that.
There was nobody there, and you still parked on the helipad.
Now there was 42 people there. Oh, my goodness. There's Tyler Erb. Good recovery for him last night in the main event. He calls himself the B-Main Bandit. He won that, one of the two B-Mains, and then drove up through there and got a top 10 finish in that General Lee 01 car. Tyler Erb, two-time winner here at Brownstown. Again, there's Bob Gardner, the 4G, as we'll continue to pack it in here. Get the ultimate racing surface here tonight at Brownstown. Again, it hasn't rained here until, earlier this week. I believe it rained, was it 2 Saturdays ago? On a Saturday night, you had your Hornet feature rained out. And I was coming back from Lawrenceburg, and it rained pretty good, but it has not rained since until earlier this week. And there's a lot of areas in central and southern Indiana with like a flash flood watch and warning and all that for early part of the week, but not here at Brownstown. And unfortunately, we lost the race at Hobstadt, the FloRacing night on Wednesday night, the house that Helfrich built, and hopefully we'll be back there in 2026. So there you have the quarter mile. No walls, no guardrails at all around there, and it's been that way since that part of the track was built in 1955. You see that wall back there, but that is quite a ways from the back straightaway here at Brownstown Speedway. All right. Time should be picking up here as we have these group of cars on the racetrack. This is group number 3. And you can tell the speed picking up right here in this group. And you have Donald McIntosh, Jonathan Davenport, Bobby Pierce, Jug Wethington, Daniel Hilzelbeck, Chris Ferguson, Jason Jamison, and Turbo. And Garrett Albertson there stalled it, had to get on the brakes there to McIntosh slowed in 2 as everybody makes their way back around. So they will pack in it a little bit here, and we'll send them off. And that group number 1 will come back out here. Good to see Chris Ferguson back here at Brownstown. Again, he ran here for the very first time in 2020. In fact, he had the hard charger going that night and ended up, I believe, in 8th. So it's been 5 years since he has returned here. There's Bobby Pierce, former Jackson 100 winner. Again, his dad never won this race, came in 2nd. And Bob Pierce had 16 victories in his career here at Brownstown. First came here to Bob Pierce in about 1981-82 in that Busch Beer 32. Fergie 14.098 in 22. Jason Jamison of the 12 car. Again, debuted that decal scheme at Eldora. Tribute to his father, Willie Klepper, multi-time track champion, I believe 4 times at Lawrenceburg Speedway. So Chris Ferguson 14.098. Jason Jamison, Tyler, Bobby Pierce, Jonathan Davenport, Donald McIntosh, Jug Wethington, Daniel Hilzelbeck. I'm sure those guys in group 4, 5, and 6, they've waited anxiously there in the lineup. You see them down there just off of turn 4. And we talked about in the 1960s, you see the middle of that racetrack. There used to be a giant X there for many, many years. They did have figure 8s here in the 1960s. And after, yeah, can you, Dustin, you said you've been to a figure 8 race.
Yeah.
Is it in Ohio?
No, Iowa, my second home.
Yeah, your second home, right?
Shocker, right. Hey, Galvin reached out to me last night.
Galvin Landers.
Yeah,
Yep.
Gavin Landers.
That's what Scott called him.
Said that, believe it or not, his dad ran some figure 8s back in the day.
Very nice.
How about that?
Very nice. You see Josh Rice out there. Finally got that first win at Brownstown here in the Hoosier Classic back in May. Now 3-time Northern All-Star champion. And we're back to Group 1. There we go. We've seen this before, haven't we? We're going to have a good track here tonight. So it was a good track last night. It could be even better here tonight. As again, Group 1 is going to have Tyler Neal, Connor Mertens, Devin Gilpin is not going to be out there. Then Trevor Landrum, Cody Mahoney, Corey Lawler, Josh Rice, and Brandon Overton. Again, Devin Gilpin, 6 times now a track titleist here at Brownstown. He is guaranteed a provisional here tonight. Again, he had mechanical issues last night, so they dropped in the crate into the car. Yes, DJ.
Hey, good to see Chad Stapleton back,
by
the way. You mentioned he got a win at Moeller Raceway Park. I talked to him down here a little bit ago. He'll be coming out of the next group, and he just drove by me and took a small clump of mud out of the race car and threw it directly at me. So Chad Stapleton is back.
Well, how about, the heart surgery he had? I mean, that was serious business right there, because if he doesn't have that heart surgery, I don't know what happens. And it was very, very extensive and all of that, and the doctors told him you're not going to race this year, and you know how Chad is, right? He had to give up the cigarettes, right? So
yeah, and he told me that he's getting along well. He said he still gets very fatigued, said still very tired during the day, but all things considered a lot better than the alternative as well.
Yeah,
so
no doubt
James,
about
I'm
it.
wondering with the hot lap sessions if Trevor Landrum didn't run out of fuel already in the 18.
Possibly, yes. Well, Trevor Landrum, 3-time Florence Speedway track champion. Debuted that new Longhorn. Of course, he had been in a Team Zero Bloomquist car here the last few years. His family, his dad Steve, Scott Bloomquist, great friends over the years. And hopefully He'll be able to go here for All-Star Performance Time Trials in that 18 car. His dad, Steve Landrum, he was in that field for that record 102 cars here in 1990. What was so cool about that, Dustin George, is the year before, 1989, we had 91. So our goal was to hit 100. We did 102. And in 1991, we had 91 again. So pretty impressive here at Brownstown over the years. And there's Tyler Neal, stepson to Don O'Neill, out of Paragon, Indiana, in a great late model standout here at Brownstown. First full year in an open late model. He's run very well. Made the race here last night, the C.J. Rayburn Memorial. There's the Anthony Burroughs Crew Chief 76 car of a Brandon Overton. The dude wipes entry, looking for his first win here at Brownstown. First time he came here was a few years back in his first stint, I believe, with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Josh Rice, a lot of laps here. His dad, Jerry Rice, never run. Brother James came close a few times, but Sean Fullwood turning the wrenches on that 11 car. Brandon Overton, 14.184. 1.4184 in the 76. Tyler Neal, Josh Rice, Connor Mertens out there in that group, DJ.
Yeah, you talk about that 1990 Jackson 100, James. Who could forget, right? I remember that one well. That was the year that John Gill won the what they used to call the Consi back then, right? Drove up through the field en route to a 6th place finish.
That was the year Kenny Schrader drove here for the first time in the Budweiser 25. And I remember Herschel Bowman, he was the sheriff, I believe, of the county here, and they had to go to the Seymour Airport and pick him up.
Oh, my.
Because he ran well, it was the same time, I believe, as maybe Scott. Well, Scott was running ARCA a little bit, so they all come down here. So, yeah, it's unbelievable, the story there. Kenny Schrader here, and he signed autographs and ran in the top 10 in that Budweiser number 25 late model. All right, there's Don O'Neill. First came here, his family, his brother Marty, in the 1980s, about 87, 88. And then his dad Marvin got him a couple of new Rayburns, and that was about in 1990. And the rest is history. 54 career wins here, 4-time Jackson 100 champion. He is Don O'Neill. All right. We'll get this group going again. Bob Gardner out there, Chad Stapleton, Devin Moran, Tristan Chamberlain, Don O'Neill, Garrett Alberson, Jake Leitzman, and Justin Smith. How about Justin Smith? How about that? Only about, the second time he's ever been there. 13.879. 13.879. And Dustin Jarrett, how about Justin Smith? Gary Hall, of course, longtime promoter and owner at Tazewell Speedway, giving up the reins. And Justin Smith, the brand new owner of the Taz. How about that? Very impressive.
If you like flat racetracks,
get out of here.
Tazewell's probably not going to be the place for you. No, man, that baby right there is as high banked as it gets. You and I have done several races there, not just with Lucas Oil over the years. You and I think, even did a few O'Reilly Auto Parts Battle of the Bluegrass Series races there back in the mid-2000s.
That too, and I was there the night Scott Bloomquist set an all-time track record. And Bloomquist was so good there. He and Jimmy Owens and Dale McDowell, right? There's Chris Ferguson out in the 22, Bobby Pearson 32. Don't forget, groups 4, 5, and 6, we haven't forgot about you. You're going to be coming out here in a little bit. Again, 47 cars entered here tonight. Super Stocks, Pure Stocks, they are on the schedule as well. Well, Bobby Pierce, 29 wins this year. That leads the nation. He currently leads the Outlaws and the FloRacing Night in America points. Pretty well got those two in hand right there. Does Bobby Pierce. He'll be gunning for his second straight Dirt Track World Championship at Eldora. That'll be the next time we see him with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series coming up in October. So Jonathan Davenport, 13.984. He was the overall fast qualifier last night. And All-Star Performance Time Trials will be coming up here in a little bit. So those drivers make their way back to the pitters. So group number 4, who's had time to get them a hot dog, as C.J. Rayburn would say at the concession stand, they're going to be coming up next for their group. That's Group A, so they are in the books. Yeah. Tiffany, get the graphics ready because there's Logan Zarin, the 1Z out of Hookstown, Pennsylvania. First time here at Brownstown. The 29J, two-time winner this year. That was at Moeller. Back in the Carlos Bumgardner entry, that is Jordan Weaver out of Bloomington, Indiana. In the D48, his first full year in a super late model to Bloomington, Indiana, Derek Groomer. The 11, he was 5th in this year's Northern All-Star points out of Northford, Indiana, Tyler Collins. There's the Big Perm. He won the Hall of Fame Classic here in August. He is out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. There's the 9, last night's winner, the Ty Toric NOS Energy Drink number 9. That is Nick Hoffman out of Mooresville, North Carolina. The 24, the 2023 track champion here, the second generation racer out of Bedford, Indiana, Jared Bailey. In the 28 car, the veteran out of Carpentersville, Illinois, that is Dennis Erb Jr. Dennis Erb Jr. 7. Well, welcome High Limit. How about that? We covered all grounds tonight under a weather delay. Welcome to the High Limit crowd. The High Limit room here tonight, guys, at Brownstown Speedway. Maybe we can get a High Limit race here. That would be pretty cool. And they are under a weather delay right now, so good to see you folks joining us here tonight. USAC Sprints also in Butler, Michigan, I believe, tonight. So there's Tyler Collins, his grandfather, Ted Collins, and Kenny Woods. They promoted this track from 1967 to 1980. In fact, they actually saved racing here at Brownstown because it was basically closed in 1966. And Ted Collins, who gave me my start here in 1977, and he and Kenny Woods, 14 years promoting here at Brownstown Speedway. They also promoted Twin Cities. They also promoted Bloomington. They've also promoted Salem Speedway in the past, DJ.
Hey, James, you talked about Jackson 100 history. Who could forget that 1988 Jackson 100 that Jim Curry won? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that took a while, wasn't it? Jack Boggs was the car across the finish line, and they started chasing. It was a UMP race.
Well, you remember Jim Curry had to come from the B consi up to the A consi from the tail of the field and actually finished second in the whole Boggs controversy.
Finished second, right, and in the tire controversy, and Jack Boggs was disqualified, and Jim Curry got the win.
That was
about 3 o'clock in the morning, it seemed like.
Well,
that before the termination.
I can't take credit for that one, but a good friend of yours and mine, Mr. Pal Yu, said to remind you of that.
Mike Sullivan, hey, you know Terry Wilcher, don't you? Terry Wilcher, former voice at Taylor County Speedway in Campbellsville, Kentucky, did a lot of races with me here at Brownstown. He is here tonight.
Oh my!
Yes, the Campbellsville, Kentucky native. Man, what a great area that. You talk about Brownstown, but Campbellsville, Kentucky over the years. I mean, drivers like David Spear and Tim Tungett. There's one right there out of Campbellsville, Kentucky. The Rattler, Justin Ratliff, his dad, James Ratliff. They have 3 cars. Jason Jameson, Dalton Wilson, and Justin Ratliff. Simply amazing place. The track closed, I believe, the early 90s. Did Taylor County Speedway. But glad to have Terry Wiltshire with us here in the house tonight. All right, so this group of cars, again, Nick Hoffman, Jared Bailey, Jordan Weaver, Derek Groomer, Logan Zarin, Dalton Wilson, Dennis Erb Jr., and Tyler Collins. And this group right now, Justin Radliff, Dan Ebert, Tanner English, Clay Harris, Matt Boatnick, Carson Ferguson, Ricky Thornton Jr., and Steve Peden. Tanner English here at Brownstown. He's run very well in the past. He has 4 career victories. There's Steve Peden, his first full year in a super late model up from the crates. He is out of Martinsville, Indiana. There's Dan Ebert. First time here at Brownstown was back in March for the Indiana Icebreaker. And that James Trantino-owned car for the former USMTS modified racer. Tanner English 14.125 in the Brett Coleman entry. Ricky Thornton Jr. the 20 RT. Then Dan Ebert and Matt Boatnick in 22, 9-time modified track champion. And Steve Peden, Carson Ferguson, Justin Radliff, and Clay Harris. So these drivers have waited about 45 minutes. They get about 2 minutes on about a minute on the track. So they'll be ready. Track's coming into it very nicely. Here's our 4th and final group. Naked 5th or 6th group. It'll be Hudson O'Neal, the 71 out of Martinsville, Indiana. In the Big Rear Steel Little Low entry. He comes to us out of Martinsville, Indiana. Also in this group on the quarter mile here at Brownstown Speedway, there's the 111. He bypassed the scales last night, so he's automatically disqualified. That is Max Blair. He said, I'm starting to tail the Consi. I'm going to load it up and save it for another night. Always runs well here at B-Town. He's out of Centerville, Pennsylvania. He was the Rookie of the Year in the series 2 years ago. There's the 93 car regular here, Zach Blackwood out of Columbus, Indiana. Well, for a while, Zach Blackwood held as the youngest driver ever to start the Jackson 100 until a guy named Tyler Reddick, whatever happened to him. Tyler Reddick became then, after that, the youngest driver ever to make the Jackson 100. There's Cameron Marlar. His big brother Mike Marlar won. Look out, hang on, Evan Harrell, and he got into the tire again, a tire he got into last night in that Jason Welshand Savage number 29. And man, oh man, oh man, there he gets it straightened out. So it looks like no damage, but they had to work on that car all night long. Again, thanks to Jason Welshand and Evan for coming up here to run. And we met them at Eldora. Ran up there for the first time in that Savage chassis. So again, out here, Cameron Marlar. Drake Troutman out there, last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year. And there's the driver, 0.081 seconds. He's never won the Jackson 100. Neither is Mark Richards Racing. And that is Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois. Brandon Shepard here at Brownstown in his career, 2 career wins. There is Drake Troutman in last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year, the GR Smith 22 star. Again, winning his dad's memorial races last weekend in Bedford, Pennsylvania in the Jerry Foster Modified. In that Victor Circle Auto, Brickhouse Tavern 22 star. Keep an eye on him tonight. He'll be in Group 6. There's Hudson O'Neal here, former Jackson 100 winner. Hudson O'Neal here at Brownstown has 8 career victories. You add up all the wins with the O'Neal family here. Marvin O'Neal never did win race here, but his uncle Marty has. Marty won 2 track titles. And he ran in the Indiana Pro late models here last night, did Marty O'Neal. Marty O'Neal win this year in a B mod at Florence Speedway. So the 6th and final group. And we've got a car over the bank coming off of turn number 4 down here. Brings it back on. That is Drake Troutman. Evan Harrell's going to take it back to the pit here. They're trying to work on that car for All-Star Performance Time Trials. Hey, he made it back safely this time. 13.875, Brandon Shepard. Drake Troutman, 14.218. Then Cameron Marlar, Hudson O'Neal, Max Blair, Zach Blackwood, and Evan Harrell. Well, Evan Harrell got into U-Tire last night, and they... Let's see what happened to him here as he goes into turn number 3 as his Brownstown initiation. And he says, I'm going to take a pit side and get ready for time trials. As he will make it back there. All right. Well, Dustin George coming up next. Pewter Hall Super Stocks coming off that big Scott Patman Memorial a few weeks ago, won by Brandon Carr, who's here tonight.
Yeah, Pewter Hall Super Stocks, one of the more competitive, most competitive groups here at Brownstown, week in and week out. Going to be led out onto the racetrack by the 6J. The 6J out of Paris Crossing, that is Jeremy Helton. And just behind him in that 12 car out of Bedford, Indiana, owned by Tommy East, that is Tanner Chastain in that black and red number 12. So group number 1 making their way onto the racetrack here for their hot lap time trials. The 16P, that is Tom Plotz out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and the 10B out of Edinburgh, Austin Burton. In turn number 2, 4 wins on the season, currently second in the points by 6. That is Greg Amick in the Cooper Racing 00 machine. Again, 4-time winner on the season in that 00. And behind him in the 3X, that's Tanner Chastain. In the 3X, that is the 2023 champion here at Brownstown Speedway. The 14 of Austin Perry in this group as well. He is the 2023 Scott Patman Memorial winner is Austin Perry. And behind him in that 14 car in the 51, that is Brandon Carr. He's your 2025 Scott Patman Memorial winner. Led the last 12 laps of that one to secure the biggest super stock win of the season. That's the 27 behind him. That's Oakwood, Illinois' Derek Hufford. He made his first visit to Brownstown Speedway 2 weeks ago for that Patman Memorial. Greg Amick in that 00 in a tight points battle with the 79 of Zach Sasser. He is the current points leader, and Isaiah Sasser behind him. Those three have went at it all season long, but Greg Amick's going to be fast enough for the pole of heat race number 1 here later tonight with a 16.821. Second will be Tanner Chastain, 16. Hold on, I'm going to check that. Had running order. So let's try it again. Fastest overall actually will be Derek Hufford with a 16.382. Austin Perry second quickest, 16.556. Third to be Tom Plotz. Fourth, Greg Amick. Tanner Chastain fifth, Brandon Carr sixth. Jeremy Helton 7th, Austin Burton 8th, and Trey Chastain in 9th. So Derek Hufford will be on the pole for heat race number 1. Heat race 2, Colton Sullivan in the 8 out of Seymour, Indiana. In that black and gold number 8. In front of him, that is the 11 of Isaiah Sasser, 7-time winner on the season. 4 of them came here at Brownstown Speedway. Isaiah, the winner of the Scott Patman Memorial in 2024, currently rides 3rd in the points here at Brownstown and 3rd in the overall UMP national points behind the wheel of that 11. There's the 90. That is Brock Burton in the 90 car. Brownstown Speedway Hall of Famer Randy Petro behind the wheel of that 95 aggressive race car Brad Cummings built. He's the 1986-1995 Super Stock champion. And the 99 modified champion here at Brownstown Speedway. We've got caution on the racetrack for the 22. Over in turn number 2, that is Jenna Boatnick, 3rd generation driver out of Seymour, Indiana, behind the wheel of the 22.
Hey, Dustin George.
Yes, sir.
Who's the flying bomb pop over here in 3 and 4?
The flying bomb pop exiting 3 and 4. First time visitor here to us this year at Brownstown Speedway. In the 5S, that is Brian Sims. Brian Sims, DJ. First time visitor here with us at Brownstown Speedway, at least in that machine. He's ran a few pure stock races with us here in the past here at Brownstown. The 34 DJ of Danny Hupp out of Scipio, Indiana. and the 55 of Sam Lee round out this field here for group number 2. Again, they'll be the drivers in heat race number 2. And heat race number 2 line up like this. Colton Sullivan fastest overall with a 16.713. Then Jenna Botnick will be on the outside of the front row, 16.842. Randy Petro, 16.847. Isaiah Sasser, again, third in the points. He'll be on the outside of the second row, 16.857. Then Brock Burton, Danny Hupp, and Sam Lee, they'll round out group number 2 for heat race number 2. So Colton Sullivan and Derek Hufford set to start on the pole of their heat races. Now we're rolling out with Pewter Hall Super Stock Hot Lap Time Trials for group number 3. They'll be in heat race number 3. Looks like they're going to be led out by the 79 of Bedford, Indiana's Zach Sasser. He's the current points leader by 6 here at Brownstown Speedway. Got 7 wins on the year. 3 of those have come here. He is the 2022 Brownstown Speedway champion, as well as the Dirt Car UMP National champion in that 79. He won that Scott Patman Memorial race in the 2022 as well. A lot of big wins for that 79 that year. Again, comes in tonight up by 6 over Greg Amick. And there you see the 77. That's Palmyra, Indiana's Justin Pirtle. Just behind Zach Sasser up there, the 88. That is Franklin, Indiana's Blake Daniels. 49, a second-generation driver out of Seymour. That is Jack Roberts. And going by him on the inside, that was the 36 of Dustin Carr. He's a 4-time Pure Stock champion here at Brownstown Speedway. And that plain white number 36. And the 66 you see there, that is Brownstown, Indiana's Webb Lee. And the maker of those TSR chassis in the 9CJ, that's Mooresville, Indiana's Jeff Allen. And rounding up this group will be the 916 of Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson, the 916. Checkered flag is out, starting on the pole for heat race number 3. He led the first 17 laps of that Scott Patman Memorial just 2 weeks ago. Your current points leader, it's Zach Sasser. He'll be on the pole with a 16.532. That's fastest overall of the night. Second will be Jeff Allen, 16.591. Then third, Blake Daniels. Fourth, Webb Lee. Jack Roberts, fifth. Dustin Carr, 6th. Josh Johnson in 7th. And that will do it for Pewter Hall Superstock Hot Lap Time Trials. And we will take a quick commercial break here. For those of you watching at home on FloRacing, this is the Jackson 100. You're watching live on Flo.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, we're back here at Brownstown Speedway. And we're going to get ready here for All-Star Bowman's time trials. Cody Mahoney has had a part failure, will not be racing tonight. Devin Gilpin again had mechanical issues. He is guaranteed a spot. He will be a Brownstown Provisionals. He leads the points here. We're going to go with the 20 car. Made the CJ Rayburn last night. That'll be Tyler Neal. He's out of Paragon, Indiana, followed by the 81. He's out of Charlestown, Indiana. That is Connor Mertens, followed by the 18. Devin Gilpin does make the call. There he is, the 1G out of Columbus, Indiana. Tyler Neal, the O'Neill Salvage and Recycling, M2 Designs. Luxury Air, iBox Springs, JC Fuel Systems with Carb XS Batteries, Tarpey Trucking. It's a Longhorn, J. Dickens, Connor Burns, the Rocket Jet Engine. I don't know, that's actually a Mullins, I believe. It's Chips Automotive. Ross Brothers Transmissions is mentioned by Gator, S&I Towing, and Devin Gilpin of the Gomez Trucking, Insultech, Wheelman by Dasco, Sussin Roofing, Blondie's Pizzeria, Dasco Racing, Bly, TFS Performance. That is the Rocket. So Tyler Neal at 14.362, Mertens at 14.736, Gilpin at 15.037. 43 career wins here at Brownstown for Devin Gilpin. For the third-generation racer, Tyler Neal lap 2's quicker, 14.101. Connor Mertens at 14.613. And Gilpin at 14.666 in the 1G. So that should bring up the next qualifiers. A three-time Florence Speedway track champion in the 18 car out of Verona, Kentucky, Florence, Kentucky. That is Trevor Landrum. Trevor Landrum in the Valvoline, Kerry Toyota, Hometown HVAC, G&G Express. Optic Detailing, Evan the Birdley Barber, Ty Touring Motorsports. That is a Longhorn with a Dargy under the hood. He will be followed by the number 93 car. He comes to us out of Hanover, Pennsylvania. That'll be Corey Lawler. Corey Lawler in the PPC Lubricants, Pontos Racing Products, Reset Auto Sales. Sunoco All About Wraps. That's a Longhorn Pro Power. And Josh Rice in the 11. He is out of Verona, Kentucky. He is in the Sinessus Construction, Air Max Heating and Cooling, Glenwood Electric, Impact Race Gear, Chain Locker, Rice Excavating and Plumbing, Sunoco Ratios, MC Tank, Sean Full with the crew chief on the Rocket Vic Hill for Rick Jones Racing. Lap 1, Landrum is 14.737. Corey Lawler second at 14.171. Josh Rice fast time 14.071. 14071 for Rice. Lap number 2 for Lawler is going to be 14.179. Landrum 14.721. And Josh Rice lap 2. It's quicker yet. Fast time 13.914 for Josh Rice in 11. Up next will be the 76 car, Cornet Power, under that long one for the Riggs Motorsports Napa Longhorn Factory team. It'll be Brandon Overton. Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia. He's seeing the Dude Wipes, Messia Valley Transportation, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Big Dog Stump and Tree, UNOH Review US. Napa Auto Parts, Garto Southern, 76. He will be followed by the 4G of the Pink Panther out of Washington, Illinois, the John Gardner Racing entry. That is Bob Gardner. Bob Gardner, the Longhorn Pro Power. And he'll be followed by two-time Brownstown track champion out of Edinburgh, Indiana. That is Total Chaos, Chad Stapleton. Chad Stapleton to 31 Auto, Maxwell Akers. R&J Excavating, CV Core. Talon Center, who's here helping. He's in the Longhorn, Jay Dickens. For Chad Stapleton in 32. Brandon Overton, fast time, 13.876. 13876. Gardner fifth at 14.251. Lap number 1 for Chad Stapleton is 14.456. 14456 for Stapleton. Lap 2 for Overton, not as quick, 13.889. Lap 2 for Gardner, not as quick, 14.263. And Stapleton, I believe, over the bank here in turn 4. So a little on lap 1, which is 6th. So right now through 9 qualifiers, it's Brandon Overton, Josh Rice, Tyler Neal, and Corey Lawler. Up next will be the number 99 car, currently second to the points, the two-time but defending Indiana Icebreaker winner. He's out of Dresden, Ohio. That is Devin Moran. Devin Moran in the 99, followed by the 20 TC out of Richmond, Indiana, Dwayne Chamberlain, followed by 54-time feature winner here at Brownstown, out of Martinsville, Indiana, the real deal, Don O'Neill. It's 71. 4-time Jackson 100 winner is Don O'Neill. Devin Moran, he's of the Roger Sellers Double Down Motorsports. That is a Longhorn. Big River Steel, Lazy Days RV, C&W Trucking, Hazen Services, Millwood Plumbing, Bomag, Refuel Wellness, Anthony's Pizza, Pee Wee's Record Service, Red Oak Pub, Car Source Auto, McHugh Chrysler, Dodge Jeep, Phillips CPA, Smoky Mountain Speedway, Hall and Haskell's. That is a Cornet-powered entry. Tristan Chamberlain, he is in the Gibson Motorsports Infinity by Wells, Spec Racing Engines entry, Vision Woodworks, Cake Storman Sewer Nozzles, and Pardo's Towing Service, and Don O'Neill, the Jim Beeman Lumber, O'Neill Savage Recycling, Action Graphics, M&L Mechanical, Masters Built Clements. Lap 1, Devin Moran, fast time, 13.653. Chamberlain 7th at 14.351. O'Neill is going to be 14.721. 14721 for Don O'Neill. Lap number 2 for Moran is 13.896. Tristan Chamberlain, lap 2. It's going to be 14.229. It'll bump him to 6. Don O'Neill, lap number 2 is 14.876. 14876 for Don O'Neill in 71. The 2014 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion. Up next, he's always at the front of qualifying. Keep an eye on him, the 58. Out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, it'll be Garrett Alberson, followed by the 2 Indy late model rookie out of Paragon, Indiana. That is Jake Leesman of the 7 out of Barberville, Kentucky. That is Justin Smith. Garrett Alberson, he's out of the Voltage Solutions, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Sunoco Racers, Titan Racing Products, Dickey's Doghouse, Cheap Cars, Fertilizer Equipment Specialist, Bill Sports Shop, Nutranac Solutions, Done Right TV, Romer Machine, Donago Motorsports, Mitchell Ransom, the Longhorn Clements, and Jake Leetzman. He's in the Rocket JC. Bowman's Transport, Tank Repair and Truck Service. Dr. DeSantis Trucking is Pro. Doggett Freightliner and Curtis Garage and Wrecker, 2ND. And Justin Smith, he's in the J Automotive, JSR Properties, Longhorn Cornet. Alberson. Jake Leetzman at 14.853. Alberson at 13.953. Lap 2 is 13.962. That's 4th on lap 1. Here's Justin Smith, lap number 2, 7th for car 7, 14.201, 14201. Leetzman, lap number 2 is 14.853. So the top 4 through 15 cars. It'll be Devin Moran, Brandon Overton, Josh Rice, and Garrett Alberson. Up next will be the current O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year driver. That'll be Donald McIntosh. He's out of Dawsonville, Georgia. He's in the Billy Hicks Racing, H&H Auto Sales, Coleman Farms Racing, NobodyWalksNC.com, Al Belt Custom Homes, Rich Haven Ranch, Principal Financial, Gambler Performance, Predator Custom Trailers. That is the Longhorn Clements, followed by Jonathan Davenport out of Blairsville, Georgia. The Lance and Darla Landers, Double L Motorsports, Longhorn. He has a Cornet under the hood this weekend. Nutranac Solutions, Dynagrow Seed, ASC Warranty, Mark Martin Automotive, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Midwest Sheet Metal 49, and Bobby Pierce. He is in the Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Steininger Construction, Churchill Transport, Collins Brothers Towing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Carnegie Towing, McIntosh. 14.325. Davenport second in Group A, 13.790. Bobby Pierce, 29 wins this year, 14.096. That is 6th. Lap 2 for Donald McIntosh is 14.454. Lap 2 for Davenport is 13.702. It's quicker, still second. Bobby Pierce, lap 2 is quicker, and that's still 6th at 14.044. Up next in Group A, again, it'll be each 1 and 2 here tonight. It'll be Jug Wethington. Jug Wethington out of Edinburgh, Indiana. He's in the Link Seamless Gutters, JHW Transport, JW Excavating and Hauling, Gatton Insurance Agency, Browning Mountain Training, Mike Jammett in Storage, Patton Plumbing, Setzer Septic, Chicago's Pizza, Haller Motorsports. That's a Club 29. And Daniel Hilsebeck, he's in the Capital Clements out of Earlham, Iowa. In the Banning Chiropractic, 22 Enterprises, Big Deal Car Care, Hilsebeck Farms, Finish Line Body and Paint, Adams Snow Removal, Alley Auto Sales, 22, and Chris Ferguson, he's in the other 22. Out of Mount Ida, North Carolina, the Brian Connard, Live Oak Aesthetic, Animal Care Clinic, Spartan Transportation, Schaefer's Oil, Spray Foam Technologies, Heckles Plumbing, Gentry Used Auto Parts and Recycling, Stinger with a Clements. Jug Wellington, 14.835. Hilsebeck, 14.280. Chris Ferguson is 8th at 14.141 in 22. Here comes Jug, first full year in a Super Late Model, 14.869. Hilsebeck, lap number 2 for Daniel is going to be 14.523. Chris Ferguson, lap 2. He'll go to 6th quick time at 14.009. 14009 for Chris Ferguson in 22. So 2 more to go. And both are throttle mashers, so keep it on them. It's 13.653 the quickest. It'll be the 12. Out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, it'll be Jason Jameson. And in the 01 out of New Waverly, Texas, it'll be Turbo. That is Tyler Erb in the 01. Jason Jameson, the James Ratliff, Longhorn Clements, MG Auto Sales, Grant Lee Farms, JRR Trucking, JRR Motor Sales, the Auto Outlet, Keltner Contracting, Tyler Earth, the best performance by Eric and Kelly Rock, the Rocket Clements, Langenfelder Mechanical Contractors, Roberts B Company, First Class Septic, Go Lithium, Sunoco, Santa Weld, number 01. It's Moran, Davenport, Overton, Rice. Jameson won a heat race last night. Third quick time. That'll put him on the front row at 13.810 turbo lap 1. And he'll go to fifth quick time at 13.876, 13.876. Jameson, lap number 2 is going to be 14.295, 14.295, and lap number 2 for Turbo is going to be 14.003, 14.003. So how about that? They come out late in Group A in their 3rd and 5th, Jameson and Erb. So that'll do it for Group A. Heats 1 and 2. 10th, Tyler Neal. 9th, Bobby Pierce. 8th, Chris Ferguson. 7th, Garrett Alberson. 6th, Josh Rice. 5th, Tyler Erb. 4th, Brandon Overton. 3rd, Jason Jameson. 2nd, Jonathan Davenport. And the quickest so far at 13.653. How about it for the 99 out of Dresden, Ohio, Devin Moran in 99. So how about that? Pole first heat, Moran. Pole second heat, Davenport. Outside front row, heat 1, Jameson. Outside front row of heat number 2 is going to be Brandon Overton.
And James, equally as important for Devin Moran, he gets 10 bonus points towards the Big River Steel Chase for the championship presented by ARP by setting fast time in Group A.
Yeah, looking for that record $250,000. That is a dirt late model record. Well, Group B are going to be 3 and 4 tonight. It'll be led up by the driver. He became the 94th driver in the 21-year history of the Lucas Oil Series to get a win. It'll be the number 9. He comes to us out of Mooresville, North Carolina. That'll be Nick Hoffman. Nick Hoffman in the Thai Touring, NOS Energy Drink, C&W Trucking, Petrov Towing, Lone Wolf Petroleum, Holdren Construction, Tri-Valley Enterprises, Longhorn Clements, Daniel Clark, the crew chief on the 9, followed by the 24, the 2023 track champion out of Bedford, Indiana. That'll be Jared Bailey. Jared Bailey in the JV Salvage, Jason Durham Motorsports, Bluebird Cafe, Wedge Motorsports, Black Belt Racing, Longhorn Clements, followed by the 29J. Returning late models, 2-time winner at Bowler this year out of Bloomington, Indiana, Jordan Weaver. Jordan Weaver to Carlos Bumgardner Sr., Longhorn Eagle, Brock Farms, Fight Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Race Car Lifts, Pipe Puffer Smoke Shop, and Bumgardner's Auto and Truck Repair, 29J. So the Group B begins with last night's winner, Nick Hoffman, at 13.916, 13.916 for the Belleville, Illinois native, now living in Mooresville, North Carolina. Bailey at 14.616, 14616. Lap number 1 for Weaver's 14.745. Nick Hoffman 13.999 on lap 2. Bailey. Jared, lap number 2 is going to be 14.768. Weaver, lap number 2, and 29J is going to be second at 14.588. All right, your next trio will be the D48. He's out of Bloomington, Indiana. That'll be Derek Groomer. Derek Groomer, the BMF Cornet, Milliken Smile, Signals Driving School, Yakel Trucking and Hauling, D Transport, All Guy Racing Shocks, Joe DeVee, Ramon Excavating and Trucking, Neil's Tree Service, Groomer Construction, Double Down Dirt Works, and G&W Monuments, 48 and the 1Z. First time at Brownstown this weekend out of Hookstown, Pennsylvania. That'll be Logan Zarin. Logan Zarin and the Jim Zarin, Longhorn Pro Power, All-American Framers, Napa Racing, Lovell Enterprises, Schwartz Miller Transport, Brandon's Lawn and Landscape, Tomai's Towing, and Zarin Truck and Automotive, and Dalton Wilson. He's in the James Ratliff, Longhorn Clements, Grant Lee Farms, MG Auto Sales, the Auto Outlet, Innovative Community Solutions, Keltner Contracting, JR Motor Sales, B&L Construction, Cheap Chevrolet, and New Point Lighting and Design. Groomer. 14.797. Zarin second at 14.389. Big Perm. He is second at 14.248. He was the winner of the Hall of Fame Classic here in August. Lap number 2 for Groomer at 14.819. Zarin at 14.472. Here comes Big Perm. Dalton Wilson, it's 14,270, 14270. So through 6 cars, that'll be Hoffman, Wilson, Zarin, and Weaver. Up next will be the number 28 car. The veteran comes to us out of Carpentersville, Illinois. That'll be Dennis Erb Jr. Dennis Erb Jr., the Bride Mac, Vomac Truck Sales, Performance Rod and Custom, VP Fuels, Fox Shocks. That is the Rocket Clements. Followed by the 11. He was 5th in this year's Northern All-Star Points out of North Vernon, Indiana. That is Tyler Collins. Tyler Collins in the Capital, Travis Kern. Super Heat Solutions, Tail Feather Farm Market, Valvoline, Jason's Construction, Blackwood Lawn and Landscaping. Followed by the 16. He was 2nd in Hall of Fame Classic to his teammate Big Perm back in August. It'll be Justin Ratliff. Justin Ratliff, former Lucas Oil Rookie of the Year out of Campbellsville, Kentucky. In the James Ratliff, JR Motor Sales, MG Auto Sales, Great Lee Farms, Longhorn Clements. Car 16. Dennis Erb Jr. on the clock. 7 career victories here at Brownstown. Second, quick time, 14. 122, 14, 122 for Dennis Erb Jr. Lap 1 for Justin Ratliff's going to be 4th at 14.342. Tyler Collins 14.524. Lap 2 for Dennis Erb Jr. is quicker. Still 2nd at 13.994. Lap 2 for Tyler Collins is 14.438. And lap 2 for the Rattlers 14.413. So the top 4 right now: Hoffman, Dennis Erb Jr., Dalton Wilson, and Justin Ratliff. Up next will be the driver, currently third in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year Chase, the 60. Out of Lakeshore, Minnesota, that'll be Dan Ebert. Dan Ebert, he's in the James Trantina, Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Woody's Racing, Ames Oil, Shaw Towing, Christensen Group, Peterson Farms, Rocket Durham, followed by Tanner English, 4 times a winner here in his career at Brownstown. He's out of Benton, Kentucky, and the Brett Coleman, that is a Longhorn, Coleman Farms Racing, Autism Awareness, Special Needs School of Gwinnett, Supreme Enterprises, C Motors 96, Clay Harris, he's in the Durham Powered Longhorn, Wilkerson Farms, Impact Electrical, Dunright Construction, National Fragile X Foundation, Universal Cable Systems, 12 Kings Construction Supply, LLC 6. Ebert, Dan Ebert 7th, Group B, 14.511. Tanner English 4th at 14.256. Clay Harris 6th at 14.358. Still chasing last night's winner, Nick Hoffman. Ebert at 14.550. English 3rd at Group B, 14.227. Harris. Clay Harris stays 6th, 14.568. So it's Nick Hoffman still 13.916. Dennis Erb Jr., Tanner English, Dalton Wilson up next. Well, he made his first Jackson 100 a year ago. He's trying to make it a 92nd of the points. He's a 9-time modified track champion, the 22 out of Seymour, Indiana. That is Matt Boatnick. Matt Boatnick in the Longhorn, Jay Dickens, Hoosier Truck Sales, Boatnick Trucking, Bob Pointer. J&M Construction, Blondie's Pizzeria at 22, followed by the 93 out of Lincoln, North Carolina. The Longhorn Clements for Paler Motorsports. That is Carson Ferguson. Carson Ferguson, the Hoopall Grading Company, Live Oak Aesthetic and Family Dentistry, Coleman Farms Racing, Sparks Oil Company, Buddy's Automotive, Brad Benton Trucking, Baker Mitchell, Tribble Electric, Pro Fabrication, Boone HVAC, Solidified Concrete, Floor Solutions Entry, followed by Ricky Thornton Jr., the current points of the Kohler Motorsports. Longhorn, he's got a Clements under the hood, Hoker Trucking, Knights Companies, Coleman Farms Racing, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Elite Ready Mix, Capital Waste, Sunoco, EMD Wrap Certified Inspection, 20 RT. Boatnick at 14.639. Carson Ferguson at 3rd at 14.114. Ricky Thornton Jr. Wait on his lap. Boatnick, lap number 2. (13.951) lap 1 for Thornton. That's second, and 13.972 on lap 2. Lap 2, also Matt Boatnick is going to go to 9th at 14.370, and then Carson Ferguson is 4th at 14.147. Lap 2, his best lap was lap 1 at 14.114. First time in a super late model trying to make his first Jackson 100 be Steve Peden. He is out of Martinsville, Indiana. The Capital Mullins Mowers, OM2 Designs, Royal Purper, All Geiner Performance, Jason Ayers Trucking, Porter Pipe Supply Company, Curtis Garage and Wrecker Service, Ray Automotive, Commercial Air Inc., followed by Brandon Shepard, the Mark Richards Racing, Rocket Durham, Valvoline, Sorbert Calf Ranches, Franklin Enterprises, Petrov Towing, Gunners Honey, Performance Grading, Ace Metalworks, Sunoco, Collins Brothers Towing, Styles Marine and Maintenance, Rocket One Pre-Owned Motors, and the G.R. Smith 22 Star, the Longhorn Cordetta, Drake Troutman, the Brickhouse Tavern, Victor Circle Auto, Gambler Transport, RFI Resources, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Jerry Siding, Roofing and Windows, Stone Natural Resources, George Beckett and Sons. Peden Steve Peden 10th at 14.344. Drake Troutman to go to 6th at 14.215. B. Shep fast time, Group B 13.755. Lap 2 for Troutman is going to be 14.255. And lap number 2 for Shepard at 13.755. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a new quick time in Group B. Brandon Shepard. Hoffman second, Thornton Dennis Erb Jr., Carson Ferguson, Drake Troutman. And we're getting down near the end. We've got about 5 to go. It'll be the 111 out of Centerville, Pennsylvania. That'll be Max Blair. Max Blair at the Brad Spochess Center Line Motorsports, C&J Dairy Creek Pizza and Pub, Upstate Auto Group, Dean Auto Group. Creekside Auto Sales, One Stop Collision Care, Murphy's Logging, TLW Transport, Gable Inn, Riggs Fiber, and Deer Lakes Bowl. That's a Longhorn Clements, followed by Cameron Marlar. He's on Longhorn. Winfield, Tennessee. Marlar Auto, Extreme Flooring, Curl Construction, Hipson Contracting, Coldwell Banker, and Evan Harrell in the Savage Pro Built out of Franklin, North Carolina. The Realty One Group, Competition Racing Equipment, Millwood Plumbing, JJ Trucking, Excavating, Extreme Towing and Recovery, 29. Blair, 14. Max Blair, 14.583. Evan Harrell, 14.499. Cameron Marlar at 14.377. Lap 2 for Blair is 14.610. They'll have some work to do in a heat race here tonight. Marlar will go to 6th. Cameron Marlar, his brother won this race a year ago, 14.133. And Evan Harrell, lap 2 is going to be 14.48614. 4.862 more to go. It'll be the 93 car. He comes to us out of Columbus, Indiana. That'll be Zach Blackwood. Zach Blackwood at Longhorn Bullock. Blackwood Lawn Care, Kendall Truck Repair, Go Jones Corps, Indiana USSSA, Fast Pit Softball, Jason Smith Trucking, Blair Home Improvements. Followed by the 71. He's out of Martinsville, Indiana. That'll be Hudson O'Deal. Hudson O'Deal, the time of Dickie Burns, SSI Motorsports, Longhorn Cordet, Big River Steel, Wheeler Metals, Merrill Bond and Company, Subsurface of Indiana, Professional Concrete Cutting and Drilling. Westside Tractor Sales, Dyno One Inc. O'Neill Salvage and Recycling, Indiana USSSA, Fast Pit Softball, Bob and Tammy Burton, Houchins Insurance Group, Bobcat of Batesville, and Sunoco Race Fuel sponsor the 71 of Hudson O'Neill, former Lucas Oil champion and Jackson 100 winner as well. Time to be 13.755 here in Group B. Brandon Shepard, Zach Blackwood at 14.728. Here comes O'Neill. Hudson O'Neill, lap number 1's got to go to 5th at 14.091. You got to get into the top 4 to set on the front row of a heat race. Blackwood, 14.778. Can O'Neill do it? The final qualifier of the night. And he will not. 14.109. 1.4109 for Hudson O'Neill. So that'll do it for Group B. There'll be heats 3 and 4 here tonight at Brownstown. It'll be 10th. It'll be Dalton Wilson. 9th, Tanner English. 8th, Drake Troutman. 7th, Cameron Marlar. 6th, Carson Ferguson. 5th, Hudson O'Neill. 4th, Dennis Erb Jr. 3rd, Ricky Thornton Jr. 2nd, Nick Hoffman. And your fastest qualifier in Group B at 13.755 will be the number 1 out of New Berlin, Illinois. That'll be Brandon Shepard. But your fastest overall at 13.653. How about it, folks? In car number 99 out of Dresden, Ohio. How about a big round of applause for Devin Moran? DJ.
Devin Moran going to set the All-Star Performance Fast Time for the 3rd time this year, sporting the black Ohio State Buckeyes jersey-looking uniform. Of course, we mentioned the Bucks. I don't know if you know, they beat Washington today. Absolutely. All right, college football aside, though, Dev, 10 bonus points for setting fast time in Group A. As you look at the overall grand scheme of things, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's more important, getting those 10 bonus points for setting fast time, or knowing that you start on the pole of a heat race and can parlay that maybe into a good run in the feature?
At this point in the year, everything's important. You gotta qualify good, gotta heat race good, and then it's a long 100-lap race here. So I've been so close so many times, but I'm trying to persuade some of these Hudson O'Neill fans to turn into Devin Moran fans tonight.
They may do that, as he is going to start on the pole of Penske Shocks heat race number 1. How about it, ladies and gentlemen, for the driver of the Double Down Motorsports number 99, Devin Moran.
Trying to get
that's a pretty good round of applause, right? James. Pretty good round of applause for Dev.
There you go. All right, so he's the fastest overall. He'll set on the pole of the Victory Fuel pole if he can win it here in heat number 1. He has never won a Jackson 100. Dustin George, the Pure Stocks, Coming up next, and this has been one of the most competitive divisions you will see anywhere here in the state of Indiana, Dustin.
You mentioned earlier the Bearded Hobo Brewery and Pub just down the road here in Brownstown Speedway, the competition sponsor for the Pure Stocks. Blake Hull with a commanding lead over that in the overall points. He's got 12 wins here at Brownstown, 13 overall, James. So he is on a rail this year, is the driver of that 23. Typically don't see him out for hot laps, so we will see a little bit later tonight, though. A.J. Wilson in the 55 going to lead them out here for hot laps. Again, just hot laps for the Pure Stocks, so they'll line up according to the draw. That is Ross Smith behind the wheel of the white and red 71. The 7D of Dalton Fleener joined us from Scottsburg, Indiana behind him. And then the red, white, and blue stars and bars, 1776. That's Isaiah Smith. Isaiah Smith in that 1776. Got to look there at that 1776. Those of you watching on FloRacing. The 70 of Tommy Fleener. That white and blue 7-0 Tommy Fleener. Joins us from Scottsburg, Indiana as well. And there's ODW, Donnie Wilson in the 78. Steel wheel in that blue and orange machine here at Brownstown Speedway, and Philip Boudreau in that 91B round out this group, not particularly in any order. They can come out however they like, since they are not having hot lap time trials. It's just hot laps only information only ahead here. So fastest overall, Ross Smith with a 17.350. Fastest overall so far, Tommy Fleener, 17.409. Dalton Fleener, 17.617. And A.J. Wilson, 17.698. And Isaiah Smith was 17.740. Those are your top 5 fastest overall. The 07, Curtis Rossier out of Columbus, Indiana. Up at him, that's the 9B. That's Kevin Bloom in that orange and purple 9B. The 10JR, that is Davey Wagner Jr. And with him, the 14. S, that is Keaton Strevel. Keaton Strevel in that 14S car. The 33H of Hunter Perry. And got a car off the racetrack there. A little bit of a turn 2 detour in the 44. Haven't seen that car here this year. Now,
that's a Chevelle, isn't it?
But it's the way it looks as though.
Looks like a Chevelle.
It does. And
your dad never drove a Chevelle. He drove a Camaro, didn't he?
That's correct. That is correct. 44, Sam Walston. I don't see him on my lineup, but he is on My Race Pass, on the MRP My Race Pass, so we'll find his lineup. The 95H of J.T. Huffman, they call him the Maverick. He's out of Salem, Indiana. He is second in the points. He's got a win here. One of the few to be able to find victory lane here in the Pure Stock divisions, aside from your points leader, Blake Hull. J.T. Huffman able to crack the top 5 fastest here with a 17.580. 17.580.
How many's Hull won?
12 here at Brownstown, 13 overall on the season.
So he's going to be like Scott Bloomquist. I don't need no hot lap.
Yeah, he is not hot lapped once this year. Yep.
Wow. You find out who 44 is?
I did. Sam Walston right there in front of me. He starts on the outside of the front row of heat race number 1. So there on your screen, those of you watching at home, 51, that's Cody Ellison. He's in the top 5 in the points. And the 11B, that is Bob Sterrett. Bob Sterrett in the 11B. The 222, that is Brad Kemp. Brad Kemp in the 222. Joins us from Marysville, Indiana. The 79W, Bedford, Indiana's Bobby Woods. Bobby Woods in that 79W. Then former Pure Stock track champion here at Brownstown Speedway, Josh Turner in the 7. That's the blue 7 of Josh Turner, the yellow 7 here tonight, James. Yellow 7 with blue numbers. That is a Turner-owned machine, but that's Braden Watson behind the wheel of that here tonight. He was the last modified champion here at Brownstown Speedway back in 2023. And there on the front straightaway, the 36C, that's Preston Carr. He's third in the points right now overall. He's got a win here on the season as well. Braden Watson cracked the top 5, though, fastest overall with a 17.421 for the former modified champion out of Bedford, Indiana, in that yellow number 7. And Josh Turner, 5th quickest overall with a 17.606. And that will do it for all of our preliminary activities, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back here in just a few moments for our opening prayer and national anthem, followed by Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series heat races. You're watching the 46th annual Jackson 100 live from Brownstown Speedway on FloRacing.
Save your lunch money for. Welcome to the High Limit Room.
The My Race Pass app is your motorsports headquarters on race night. With over 800 organizations across multiple forms of motorsports, you'll always have the information you need in the palm of your hand. Race day information with official entries, lineups, live timing and drag racing timing slips, official results, point standings, announcer audio, fantasy racing, and so much more. Don't be left in the dark on race night. Download the My Race Pass app today in Google Play and the App Store. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
Hey race fans, have you set your Dirt Draft lineup yet? Dirt Draft is the fantasy racing app you can download right on your phone. Pick a team of 5 drivers within your $100,000 salary cap, and the better they do, the better you do. You earn points to spend in the Dirt Draft Speed Shop for all kinds of cool stuff, from t-shirts and hats, race tickets and pit passes, or even a season pass to FloRacing. New subscribers even get a free Dirt Draft t-shirt. Download the Dirt Draft app now from the Apple app or Google Play Store.
Hey, this is Kyle Larson, and you're watching the best pavement, dirt, and drag racing, all live on FloRacing. You have great racing on the track, you have great crowds.
400 race cars.
Laps to go. Corner number 4 at the line. Brandon Overton.
The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is back big for 2025 as the Big River Steel Chase for the championship presented by ARP kicks off in January and concludes at the season finale at Eldora Speedway in October. Drivers will battle for over $1.3 million with $250,000 awarded to the series champion at Eldora Speedway. Don't miss the action all season.
You have to fight to pull ahead, to find your edge, to do whatever it takes to make you 1/10 of a second faster, smarter, more committed than the other guy, because you've got the kind of passion that can overcome the impossible. And we've got the most powerful performance race fuel available to help you do it. Sunoco Race Fuels. Take the lead.
The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is brought to you by Big River Steel, developing sustainable steel made with the world's most advanced mini-mill technologies. By Lucas Oil, keep that engine alive. And by Sunoco Race Fuels, higher standards, higher octane. Take the lead with Sunoco. Welcome back to Brownstown Speedway. Dustin Jarrett, Dustin George, James Essex here tonight, ready to go. 47 cars, 50,000 to win the Jackson 100. And we're about ready to go. If everybody will please rise and remove your hats. From Dirt Racing Outreach with our invocation tonight, Mr. Ralph Baker.
Pray with me, please.
Father, we think about the old song that says we stand amazed in your presence. And that's the way I feel tonight, Lord, just thankful that you're mindful of our needs and who we are and the things that are going on in our life. We thank you for, we think about the way the moon and the sun comes up and the tides are controlled by you, and we just pray that tonight you would have your control and your power over this race. We pray that protection would be provided for each and every driver, for the officials on the track, and just for we know anything can happen to us at any time. We just pray tonight that you just watch over each of us, help everyone to be safe. And Lord, we just pray also that you just watch over our group, watch over the racing, just help it to be good, and help everyone when they leave that they could feel like they've done their best. Lord, we think about most of all the different things that are going on in our world, and we just thank you for all the people. And we, you know, it's a cliche that we talk about first responders and our soldiers, and we take those things for granted. We thank you for those people tonight. We thank you for the people who just humble themselves and serve us, even as we see people coming in and out of the track, putting other people first. Help us to always put you in the front of our lives, and as your word tells us, to love our neighbor as ourselves. Bless this event, Lord. Forgive us of our sins. Thank you for your blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, please remain standing as we are honored this evening once again to be joined by Mr. Rusty Shields, who will first begin with a song that should be familiar to all natives of the great state of Indiana, and he would like you to join in if you know the words to this one.
Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still shining bright through the sycamores for me. The new mown hay sends all its fragrance from the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, then I long for my Indiana home.
How about it? Who's your state natives? And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are able, we'll ask that you please remain standing. If you're on the grounds, we'll ask that you stop what you're doing as we honor the United States of America once again to sing the Star-Spangled Banner from Bloomington, Rusty Shields.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
about it one more time, ladies and gentlemen? My good friend Rusty Shields. And that means we got one question to ask. You know what? Wait a minute. It's not right if I do it for the Jackson 100. I'm sending it up top to the mayor of Brownstown, the longtime voice, the GOAT. Ladies and gentlemen, James Essex. James, it's all you, brother. Get him fired up.
Brownstown, are you ready? Yes. All right. The first of 4 heats, the winners on the Victory Fuel pole tonight. It'll be Penske Shocks heat number 1. It'll be 8 laps, top 4 transfer on the pole. It'll be the 99 out of Dresden, Ohio. That is Devin Moran on the outside. The 12 out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana is Jason Jameson. Road 2 will be the 01. Out into Waverly, Texas, it'll be Turbo Tyler Urban. And the 58 out of Las Cruces, New Mexico is Garrett Alberson. Row 3, the winningest third lane model driver of the nation this year, 29 wins. For the 32 out of Oakwood, Illinois, it's Bobby Pierce. And the 93 out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, Corey Lawler. Row 4 will be the 20 TC out of Richmond, Indiana, Tristan Chamberlain. And the 22 out of Earl Maya was Daniel Hilzebeck. Run number 5, we have 32C out of Edinburgh, Indiana, Chad Staple. Into the 1G out of Columbus, Indiana, Devin Gilpin. And to the 71 out of Martinsville, Indiana's Don O'Neill. And the 2ND out of Perrigan, Indiana is Jake Leitzman. All right, the Race Car Engineering Pace Truck. RaceCarEng.com down there in Lakeland, Florida. If you're in the asphalt, dirt track racing, however, all the parts you need, and they are at Race Car Engineering. Muscle car, factory car, whatever it is. Here we go. Devin Moran, Jason Jameson. Right now, the winner's going to be on the Victory Fuel pole. 8 loaded. They're all stacked. As my buddy Michael Despain would say, they're all restaurant quality as we go at the Nutrient Ag Solutions start zone underway. The first step to the 46 Jackson 100. Jameson swings it out wide. He'll head down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3, Tyler has moved into second. A top 10 last night. Bobby Pierce on the move to the inside at 32. Bobby Pierce through the middle. Pierce will go to third at 32. 1 lap in the record books, Devin Moran. His dad tried for many years, never won a Jackson 100, never even won a race here at Brownstown. Devin Moran's won the last 2 Indian Icebreakers. He leads off at turn 4. $50,000 on the line tonight. Battle back there between Jason Jameson. He was second to Scott Bloomquist in the 2017 Jackson 100. That is the last time any driver led all 100 laps, and that was the 0 car back 8 years ago. Pierce third, Jameson fourth, Alberson Chamberlain down the back straightaway. Here comes Garrett Alberson in 58, trying to get that 4th and final transfer spot. He gets around Jameson. Here comes the youngster Tristan Chamberlain in the Gibson Motorsports 20 TC. Rolls through the middle. He goes in that Infinity by Wells entry, side by side, and they almost got together. As right there, problem for Hilzebeck as he continues on right now, runs at 11th. Again, Gilpin did not start this race. He will be a provisional here tonight for the track. Devin Moran 5 down and 3 to go. Tyler Erb second. Third is Bobby Pierce. Fourth is Garrett Alberson. Off at turn number 4, Devin Moran. Second in the championship points. A third from 10th run last night. In that near photo finish that we had right in front of him between Brandon Shepard and Nick Hoffman got the win off at turn number 4. It's the Barons Performance. 1 lap to go. The Dresden, Ohio native. Out at turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Loves Brownstown Speedway. Again, he's back-to-back Indian Icebreaker winner, trying to win his first Jackson 100. He will be on the Victory Fuel pole here tonight at Brownstown in 99. Tyler Erb is going to finish in second. Third is Bobby Pierce. Fourth is Garrett Alberson. They'll go to the UNO8 scales to make it official. Fourth is Garrett Alberson. Third is Bobby Pierce. Second is Tyler Erb. And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he is in the Big River Steel, Lazy D's RV, C&W Trucking, Hazen Services, Millwood Plumbing, Bomac, Refuel Wellness, Anthony's Pizza, Red Oak Pub, Pee-wee's Wrecker Service, Car Source Auto, McHugh Chrysler, Dodge Jeep, Phillips CPA, Smoky Mountain Speedway, Hall and Haskell's. He has got a cornet in the hood of that Longhorn for Roger Sellers, Double Down. Chuck Kimball's the crew chief, Dylan Klein, Nick Smith on the crew. Looking for his first Jackson 100. He'll be on the Victory Fuel pole tonight, fans, out at Dresden, Ohio. How about it for Devin Moran?
He's finished second twice in the Jackson 100. James, as a matter of fact, he's never finished outside the top 10 in 9 starts in the Jackson 100. And my question for Devin Moran is simple. Dev, you've been oh so close in this race a couple different times. Is this the year you get your first Jackson 100 win?
Man, I really hope so. Been down here twice already to see it, so hopefully we can be down here again. I think the track's going to be really good for the feature. I know they're going to move the mute tires in. There's a lot of grip up on top, so I just hope we put on a good race and we can come out on top.
He's hoping to see me again. He's hoping to convert some Hudson O'Neal fans, and he's hoping to win his first ever Jackson 100. How about it, Brownstown? He'll start on the victory fuel pole tonight. It's Devin Moran.
All right, DJ, great job as always. Summit Racing, heat number 2. The winner starts inside row 2. It'll be the 49 car. He comes to us out of Blairsville, Georgia. That'll be Jonathan Davenport. On the outside, the 76 out of Evans, Georgia is Brandon Overton. Row 2 will be the 11. He's out of Crittenden, Kentucky. That is Josh Rice. At the 22, out of Mount Holly, North Carolina, that is Chris Ferguson. Row 3 will be the 20. When he made the Rayburn last night, he's out of Paragon, Indiana. That's Tyler Neal. And the 7 out of Barberville, Kentucky is Justin Smith. Row 4 will be Bob Gardner. He's out of Washington, Illinois. And the 79, the top rookie this year in the Lucas Oil Series out of Dawsonville, Georgia, is Donald McIntosh. Row 5 will be the 81. He's out of Charlestown, Indiana, Connor Mertens. And the 18 out of Florence, Kentucky is Trevor Landrum. And row 6 will be Jug Wethington in the 48J. And unfortunately, Cody Mahoney, a scratch in the 4. 8 laps. Top 4 transfer. The Race Car Engineering Pace Truck. So the top 4 advance. Moran on the victory fuel pole. The winner of heat number 3, which is going to have Brandon Shepard and Ricky Thornton Jr. on the front row. The winner of that race will be on the outside of the Jackson 100 here tonight. 100 laps, $50,000 to win. So at the Nutrien Solutions start zone, it is Jonathan Davenport and Brandon Overton as we go green at Brownstown. Out at turn number 2, down the back straightaway, Jonathan Davenport. Good battle there. Rice, Ferguson at the back out of it. Here comes the youngster Tyler Neal. Tyler Neal, his first full year in an open late model. Made the CJ Rayburn last night. Battles with Chris Ferguson off at turn 4. Rice on the bottom as Overton will cut down on him. Out at turn number 2, Josh Rice got his first win here at Brownstown. In the Northern All-Stars Hoosier Classic back at the end of May is JD, the Heartbreak Hotel, one night ago. Led the first 7 laps. Left rear flat. Had to go to the back as you see Ferguson only the second time here. He battles with Josh Rice down the back straightaway. Into turn 3, Tyler Neal, Gardner, Smith, McIntosh. Out at turn number 4, that 4th and final transfer spot. Right now, Rice 3rd, Fergie checks up. Now he'll go down the back straightaway. Here comes Chris Ferguson, and that's staying on the 22 down the back straightaway. That is the battle for the 4th and final transfer spot. Ferguson goes to the outside, down the main straightaway. First time here in 5 seasons as he gets into turn number 1 is worth the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark. 100 laps tonight. 50,000 to win. 4 out of this heat. 2 more heats to go. Rice 3rd, Ferguson 4th. Overton is still in 2nd, but it's 1.8 for Jonathan Davenport. JD won this race, I believe, for Kevin and Leroy Rumley back in 2015. Out at turn number 2, down the back straightaway. He's set on the victory fuel pole last night. He will start 3rd if he crosses the U1 scales okay. Off at turn 4, the Barons Performance. White flag from Rob Penrod, 1 lap to go. Brandon Overton 2nd, Josh Rice, Chris Ferguson. This is it down the back straightaway. Davenport looks like he's going to lead wire to wire in 49. Off at turn number 4, and Superman gets it done here in Summit Racing heat number 2 at the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Brandon Overton's going to take 2nd, 3rd, Josh Rice, 4th will be Chris Ferguson. So the top 4 will go to the U1 scales to make it official. 4th, Chris Ferguson. 3rd, Josh Rice. 2nd, Brandon Overton, and your winner. He is in the Nutrien Solutions, Dyna-Gro Seed, ASC Warranty, Mark Martin Automotive, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Midwest Sheet Metal, Corey Phosphate, the crew chief, Tyler Brad, Cole Bryan, and the crew of that Longhorn Cornet. For Lance and Darla Landers, the 49, he'll start 3rd tonight. He comes to us out of Blairsville, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, how about it for Heat 2 winner? It's Superman Jonathan Davenport.
You called it, James. The 2015 winner of the Jackson 100. 14th last night after running into trouble. JD, after last night's performance, looking at the big picture, how much pressure do you put on yourself here tonight as you look possibly towards your 4th Lucas Oil Championship?
Hey, all the pressure's gone now, so it don't really matter. We just got to go for wins and fast times, which we just barely missed that. But that right there was a really good car. That's probably the best I felt in a heat race here, I think, ever. So that was fun. So we just got to keep some air in these Hoosiers, and we'll probably be all right there. So we're going to go back and put the right tires on this thing, make a few more changes. We've been adjusting on this thing. Just got to thank my guys. You know, they've been doing an excellent job. Thanks to Nutrient Solutions. Say hello to Blaine, Rachel, Mom, Dad, everybody watching back home, Lance and Darlin. Just, yeah, maybe we can have a little luck tonight.
He's looking for his 2nd Jackson 100 championship out of Blairsville, Georgia. How about it, Beattown Superman, Jonathan Davenport?
All right, Coolitech Thermo Heat number 3. Are you serious? You can't make this stuff up. On the pole will be the number 1 out of New Berlin, Illinois. It'll be Brandon Shepard. Outside the 20 RT out of Chandler, Arizona's Ricky Thornton Jr. Row 2, the 71 out of Martinsville, Indiana's Hudson O'Neill. And the 57 out of Winfield, Tennessee is Cameron Marlar. The 96 out of Benton, Kentucky is Tanner English. Fellow Bluegrass State driver, the 16 out of Campbellsville, Kentucky, the Rattler, Justin Ratliff. Row 4 will be the 6 out of Florida. That is Clay Harris. The 1Z, he's out of Hookstown, PA, is Logan Zarin. Row 5 will be Evan Harrell, the 29, Franklin, North Carolina. And the 111 out of Centerville, PA, is Max Blair. Row 6 will be Jared Bailey in 24, Zach Blackwood in 93. The winner starts on the outside of the front row. How many fans are rooting for the number 1 of Brandon Shepard? How many like the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr.? How many like the 71 of Hudson O'Neill? Well, Cameron Marlar, Tanner English, Justin Ratliff's going to have something to say about it. We'll see what happens. The top 4 make it in. Brandon Shepard, 0.081 seconds. Nick Hoffman, Ricky Thornton Jr., the current Midwest Sheebiddle. There you see the orange spoiler points leader. For the outside of the front row, for the Jackson $150,000 worth of Nutrient Solutions start zone. We're underway in heat number 3. Out at 2, down the back straightaway. Thornton on the outside of B-Shep. Ricky Thornton Jr., that green, that's the final time they're going to run that green on that 20. Reminds you of longtime regular here at Brownstown, Paul Schaefer. B-Shep digs on the bottom. We got a Coleman Farms Racing caution in turn number 4, and it is Jared Bailey and Zach Blackwood.
Yeah, James, that all started when the driver just in front of them, the 29 of Evan Harrell, over-rotated down there in turns 3 and 4. He got sideways, and that left Bailey with nowhere to go. Bailey spun sideways to a stop. Blackwood got into him and actually tipped the 24 up on 2 wheels there for about a half second or so. He landed back on all 4s, and we should see everybody able to restart this field once again.
Zach Blackwood, his racing has been limited this year. He'd hoped to run the Northern All-Star Series, but him and his dad, the Blackwood Lawn and Landscaping, been busy, of course, a rainy spring. And they have several contracts they have with companies around Columbus, Indiana. All right, no laps in. It'll be a complete restart. So all of that excitement, Dustin George, is we'll have a restart.
Yeah, the 24 Jared Bailey did exit the racetrack here in turn number 1, so he's not going to be able to complete this heat race.
So Bailey, the 2023 track champion. Again, the provisionals for the track. Devin Gilpin, he had to go to another motor tonight, the crate motor. And he will be in. Matt Botnick is second in the points. Those are the only 2 eligible with perfect attendance. So Botnick will have to make it in on his own. He will be coming up in heat number 4 after this. As we start them over again, the Nutrient Solutions restart zone. Big break for Shepard. Can he take advantage of it? Ricky Thornton Jr. goes to the outside. O'Neill on the bottom. Here comes Cameron Marlar. His big brother, Mike Marlar, won this race a year ago. They battled into turn number 3. It'll be Ricky Thornton Jr. and Brandon Shepard down the main straightaway. Got the lead in 1+3. Ricky Thornton Jr. won this race in 2023. As he heads into turn number 3, Brandon Shepard's never won it. Neither's Rocket 1 as they come out of turn number 4 down the main straightaway. 2 laps in the books for the Chandler, Arizona native, now living in Indianola, Iowa. as he hits down the back straightaway. Fourth here last night for the 20 RT, the current points leader, looking for a dirt late model record $250,000 championship this year, which would go back to back. As Evan Harrell, and right now a battle there, Tanner English and Cameron Marler going wheel to wheel into turn number 4. Kentucky and Tennessee, give it to Tanner English. Tanner English, a misfortune last night as he hits down the back straightaway. He is a 4-time career winner here at Brownstown. He's in the Brett Coleman 96. Always solid here in the 100-lap races. Meanwhile, we got a battle for lead B-Shep to the top. They dig out a turn number 2 for the outside of the front row. Here comes Brandon Shepard in the Valvoline Rocket 1. 5 down, 3 to go. Here they come out at turn number 4 down the main straightaway. He is there. Thornton and Shepard side by side briefly on a turn number 2 for the outside of the front row with a $50,000 to win Jackson 100. As they come out at turn number 4, the Barron's Performance, 1 lap to go. B-Shep through the middle, down the main straightaway. This is it, the final lap. Into 1, Shepard out at 2, down the back straightaway. Thornton has the momentum. Down the back straightaway, Dandy, heat number 3. Thornton goes down to the middle. B-Shep to the top, out at turn 4, down the main straightaway by a car length. It's Ricky Thornton Jr. What a race. Shepard second, O'Neill third. Fourth is Tanner English. A dandy there, Brownstown. How about that? The top 4 to the U108 scales. So, fourth is Tanner English. Third is Hudson O'Neill. Second is Brandon Shepard, and your winner, he's in the Bobby and Jessica Cooler Longhorn Clements, Hoker Trucking, Knights Companies, Coleman Farms Racing, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Elite Rednecks, Capital Waste, Sunoco, EMD Wraps, First Certified Inspection. On the crew, Zach Fields, Skylar Cooper, and the legendary Brian Burkhofer. Your winner, the 20 RT out at Chandler, Arizona, in a dandy of a race. It's Ricky Thornton Jr.
Yeah, I can hear those people up there. That's right. James Essex can only do that. Hey, how important was it to get that heat race win as you look possibly to defend a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series championship?
It was super huge. I feel like I kind of screwed up a little bit there qualifying and kind of cost myself a little bit. I still don't think I was going to be out qualified yet, but I feel like I gave up second. Really, I didn't think the top was going to take off as good as it did on the start. I think the track's going to be pretty good. Still a little bit around the top. Hopefully they work it a little bit before our feature. Just make sure the top doesn't go away too quick. But hopefully we put on a great show for all the fans. Got to thank all of them up there for coming out, and look forward to the feature.
All right, how about it, ladies and gentlemen? Going to start on the outside front row here tonight, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Oh my, here we go. Heat number 4, DJ. It'll be Simpson Race Products, heat number 4. On the pole, last night's feature winner, the number 9 out of Mooresville, North Carolina. It'll be Nick Hoffman. Outside the 28 out of Carpentersville, Illinois, Dennis Erb Jr. Row 2 will be Carson Ferguson. He's out on Lincoln, North Carolina, 93. And Drake Troutman, last year's Rookie of the Year out of Heinemann, PA, the 22 star. Row 3 will be the Big Perm, Dalton Wilson, Fayetteville, North Carolina. And on the outside, the P3 out of Martinsville, Indiana, Steve Peden. Row 4 will be Matt Boatnick, 9-time modified track champion, year second in the points out of Seymour, Indiana. And Tyler Collins, he was 5th in this year's Northern All-Star points. He's out of North Vernon, Indiana. Row 5 will be Dan Ebert, the 60 out of Lakeshore, Minnesota. And Jordan Weaver, the 29J, back in a late model out of Bloomington, Indiana. And on the back will be Derek Groomer in the D48 out of Bloomington, Indiana. Well, the 4th and final heat. Super Stocks will be coming up next. So right now we got 12 in the show, 4 out of this one. Super Stock heats, you got Dustin George, you got 3?
Yeah, we've got 3 Pewter Hall Super Stock heat races coming up. So heat race number 1, you need to be making your way to the lineup chute if you are not already there.
Yeah, these Super Stocks and Pure Stocks put on a great show at Brownstown. If you've not seen them, they will do a really nice job. Final heat of the night for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. New Trdex start zone underway. Hoffman and Urban Jr. into 1. Dennis Erb Jr. lights up those brakes out of turn number 2. Carson Ferguson rolls into second in the 93. Here comes the 22 star of Drake Troutman. Last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year. Good season this year in the GR Smith entry. He currently leads the World of Outlaw Series Rookie of the Year standings. Steve Peden trying to get at his first Jackson 100, his first attempt on the bottom of Drake Troutman out of 2. Here comes Dalton Wilson. He won the Hall of Fame Classic here in August. over Justin Ratliff as they come out of turn number 4. 2 laps in the record books for Nick Hoffman. Down the back straightaway, Ty Torrig in the house. Crew chief is Daniel Clark. And they started 4th last night as Peden slips off the track. Troutman gets back around, and good battle there between Dalton Wilson and Dan Ebert. As we have 3 down and 5 to go, the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark, and right now it is a dominating performance for the Mooresville, North Carolina driver at 1.4 seconds. Good battle back here between Ebert, Peden, Ebert. And Ebert first trip to the Jackson 100 as they come off of turn number 4. We got a car slowing and in the middle of the back straightaway, and I believe is that Matt Boatnick in 22 off the pace. So Matt Boatnick's got to make it in on his own. Looks like Gilpin's going to get the provisional. Matt Boatnick, again, 9-time modified track champion here, multi-time winner in the Super Stocks as well, Dustin Jarrett.
Yeah, James, trouble for Dalton Wilson as well. He's slowed on the racetrack. He's going to make his way at least to the infield, if not the Heartbeat Hot Sauce hot pit. I'll keep you updated.
He's got a right rear tire down. So the Dean Bowen crew chief 18D of the Big Perm, again, got his first Brownstown win here the 1st of August. In the Hall of Fame Classic, as they will go to work on that car. So we'll have 2B mains here in a little bit. Again, the Super Stock and Pure Stock heats coming up next. As down in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce hot pit is the driver currently 8th in the series points. So right now we've got 3 in the books, 1 shy of the Hellraiser Jacks halfway. It'll be Hoffman, Ferguson, Dennis Erb Jr., and Drake Troutman. Then it's Peden, Ebert, Boatnick was in there, and he and Wilson have to go to the back. So Dalton Wilson down there, the 18D car. As they does get courtesy laps for a tire down, as we'll get ready to go here. And they've got him down off the jack and coming back out on the back. Yeah. 3 down, 5 to go, DJ.
Hey, you talk about Dalton Wilson, certainly no stranger to victory lane here at Brownstown Speedway either. Of course, he's a 5-time starter, or 3-time starter in the Jackson 100. 5th was his best finish, and that came just a couple years ago, back in 2022. He's made his way back out on the track. He'll rejoin at the tail. 5 laps still to go in the final heat race of the night. And James, we're going to go green this time by.
Nick Hoffman, your leader. 0.081 seconds. His first career win in the Lucas Oil Series last night. The 94th different winner in the 21-year history of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. New to next loses, restart zone. Back underway. Good restart for Carson Ferguson. Carson Ferguson lined up second. Here comes Drake Troutman on the bottom. He'll go side by side with Dennis Erb Jr. down the back straightaway. Here comes Dan Ebert at 60. Ebert, first time here back in March at the Indian Icebreaker, as Troutman will slide in on Dennis Erb Jr. Take the 3rd spot. Halfway here in heat number 4. On the back straightaway, the advantage is 0.4 of a second for the number 9 car, the native of Belleville, Illinois, now living in Mooresville, North Carolina. Of course, the Elite Chassis modified. Man, he's won a ton of Summit Racing equipment features in that car in his Elite Modified, now full-time in an open late model here the last couple years. He's 2nd in the world of outlaw points. He is 3rd in the world 100. Last a few weeks ago at Eldora was Nick Hoffman. One of the rising stars in dirt late model racing. Down the back straightaway, they've got 2 laps to go. Rob Penrod away the white flag. The Barron's Performance white flag, 1 lap to go. You see back there Jordan Weaver and also Dan Ebert. But right now, Dennis Erb Jr. holds the 4th spot as we start the final lap. And the 9H picking up where he left off last night. He led the last 10 laps. He will start 4th here tonight in the Jackson 100 as Nick Hoffman. 2nd is Carson Ferguson. 3rd is Drake Troutman. 4th is Dennis Erb Jr. So the top 4 UNO8 scales to make it official. Dennis Erb Jr. 4th, Drake Troutman 3rd, Carson Ferguson 2nd, and your winner. As he'll talk to Dustin Jarrett, the NOS Energy Drink, CMW Trucking, Petro Towing, Lone Wolf Petroleum, BP Bilstein, Holder Construction, Tri-Valley Enterprises, Longhorn Clements for Ty Torrig Racing. Crew chief is Daniel Clark. The number 9 got his first career win in the Lucas Oil Series last night. The number 9 in Mooresville, North Carolina. How about it for Nick Hoffman?
Nick Hoffman going to start 4th here this evening. Nick, you were awfully good last night, found victory lane. That looks like a different racetrack from my vantage point. How does this racetrack look from the driver's seat?
Yeah, definitely a little bit more grip tonight, which you expect that with a 100-lapper tonight. They just don't want this thing to rubber up, and they got a great surface right now. They got a little bit of that chop out of it, but still got a little bit to it. So felt like that chop last night kind of helped the racing a little bit. So feel like they got a pretty good surface here right now, and yeah, see if we can do it for 100. That's the biggest thing here.
He's trying to sweep Jackson 100 weekend. How about it, ladies and gentlemen, in the Ty Touring Racing NOS Energy Drink number 9, Nick Hoffman.
Pewter Hall Superstock Heat Race number 1 coming on to the racetrack. Pewter Hall Superstocks definitely our closest points battle division that we have here each and every Saturday night. Starting on the pole for Heat Race number 1 out of Oakwood, Illinois, the number 27, that is Derek Hufford. To his outside, it is the 2023 Scott Padman Memorial winner out of North Vernon. It's Austin Perry. Row number 2 on the inside is the 16P of Indianapolis, Indiana's Tom Plotz. And to his outside with 4